without you tonight? And where will it go without you tonight? And it feels like I'm not breathing, and I feel my heart stop working, and I know that you won't come back to me. Breathing, and I feel my heart stop working, and I know that you won't come back to me, come back to me. And it feels like I'm not breathing, and I feel my heart stop working, and I know that you won't come back to me.
I'm broken when you're not around. Unspoken words I'm screaming out. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Now I think I really know the meaning of when you're close to me, close to me, close to me, close to me, close to me. I'm broken when you're not around. Unspoken words I'm screaming out. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Now I think I really know the meaning of when you're close to me, close to me, close to me, close to me, close to me.
Wait for me, I'm not far behind. I know that I can change. Remembering all of those nights beneath the window frame. Don't know why we keep going round and round in the same place. Can't decide to live my life on the ground or in outer space.
free myself from you, yeah.
So I'ma light it up just like a cigarette smoke till it's in my head, take it all away. Yeah, I'ma light it up just like a cigarette smoke till it's in my head, take the pain away. Let it burn, let it burn, let it burn. Let it burn, let it So I'ma light it up just like a cigarette smoke till it's in my head, take it all away. Yeah, I'ma light it up just like a cigarette smoke till it's in my head, take the pain away.
talk to me.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Goose House Pearl Valorant Influencer Showdown, or should I call it the Influckner Showdown. We've got 8 teams ready to duke it out, all in support of global giving today. And yeah, the last gimmick, everybody was playing on Fade. Now they've all got to play on the same map, over and over again. Lots of best of ones, all on this map. They can get it nice and ingrained in their brains. I can't wait to see some of this. I'm Twiggy, I'm joined here today by Moxie, and I can't wait to see what everybody's going to be bringing out on this day one of Pearl here. What do you think is going to happen, Moxie?
Oh, I think we're going to see a whole bunch of different compositions, Twiggy, because it's a very strange map, right? Parts of it are really open, like you have that really punishing sight line all the way from B ramps into B site, where you want something like, say, a Viper with that toxic screen to make sure that you're blocked off from sightlines from tower. But then there's other parts of the map which are just so closed off, twisting, turning, really jutty out places that are perfect for a chamber or even a jet with those dashes to be able to just stick it to you with a judge as you try and walk past. Like, I think we're gonna get to see a whole bunch of comps as everyone tries to figure out what exactly are those 5 agents you want to lock in here with.
Yeah, I think I've really been seeing a lot of people try and stake their claims on their one tricks kind of coming into it. I've seen Mixwell, he posted a thing of his showstopper going over a couple walls into a full team of members on Twitter the other day. I mean, the fact that people are just showing off all of their amazing capabilities already is intensely scary, and we've got some scary teams coming up, I think, as well. We're going to be playing a bunch of best of ones in a group stage format, and then we're going to be heading straight into a finals from the top 2 seeded teams. So we can take a look at that format in just a second here, but yeah, no. I can't wait to see exactly what everybody is going to bring out, because we've been theory crafting. We thought Jed is probably a pretty decent one here. Maybe it's set to balance out the scales in terms of that. Oh, we can see a Reyna there from Somarcus. That's not exactly surprising from him. But yeah, no. Sage seems to be a pretty safe pick. Obviously, you know, you remember Icebox when it came out. Sage was a pretty much must pick to plant over on the B site. But yeah, no, I think it's a very similar kind of situation in terms of that, in that it's going to make your life a lot easier if you want to plant on specific sites.
Yeah, definitely. I would say, like, the Sage Wall, we've seen it used on Icebox B, we've seen it used on Bind A. You just really quickly get onto site, you get that spike planted behind the wall, use that as a safety, and then you pull really far back and just cycle through from utility, which can be really helpful if you do have things like the Omen, so that you can TP out nice and easily. I think we might be seeing a lot of Rays coming on through. It is something that we talked about, right? When you look at places like mid doors, moving through from Plaza into mid doors, there is one box that you can use as cover, and it is wall bangable. So it's sort of like split mid, but a lot more punishing with a lot less cover. And Rays really does love those very cramped up spaces, which is absolutely perfect for things like the paint shells and the satchel packs to be able to ricochet off of and get that most damage.
Yeah, and we can see actually very similar comps, interestingly, but just for the first kind of time playing this map. Difference in initiators here, obviously Fade is quite, you know, being able to throw stuff. She has quite a small range on her throw, but since the walls are relatively low here on Pearl, pretty easy to throw something over a wall quite nicely. We were thinking, you know, not as many wall bangable stuff as maybe Ascent, so maybe Sova isn't quite as viable, so maybe Fade would come into her own really well in this one, but obviously we can see a Sky, which is a generally safe pick coming out from Team Rizka there.
Yeah, I mean, I'd really love to see a Fade try and use those lineups from AR, right? The fact that you have those 2 gaps up towards the ceiling, you can use it. We thought maybe Jazz would use it for double updraft for those knife kills, but it could also be used to throw things like the Horn or even the Season, because it does get you one lineup goes to main, one goes to restaurant. And if you have something like a Raze to duo up with that, the Season comes out and the paint shell as a result for afterwards, that is going to be a death sentence in a nutshell, given that the Reyna is going to be in play. No one's running that chamber, so you can't actually rendezvous out of that grab.
Oh, here we go. Our first little view of a tournament format. Pearl gameplay. There's the Haunt immediately. Gives away the positions of 2 members of Team Jordis. Call them Team Rizka earlier. My bad. But in general, very slow start for both teams. I don't really... Actually, wait, I say both teams. You can see Somarcus going in for the wrap already towards A main, and he'll just take the head straight off of Gummel. Looking for a second one. Jordis right round the corner. The only other player left here, and I think that Haunt was really the opening to that one. Jordis will find the head first. That gives the opening now, I think, for the rest of the team to head straight in towards B, get that spike down without even having to commit any utility whatsoever.
Yeah, Nami's going to try and wrap around to grab tower control, is going to be able to take Dr. Freeze out, and now has that high ground, but is going to be walking through that dark cover. And unfortunately, for the defense, they've already lost control of Hall, so it's going to be very hard to try and push Jordius out from these places, especially because you are going to be able to just try and pincer them through. But there's the Sage Wall that we talked about.
Dark cover. We'll give a little bit of space. Flo is going to turn around the corner, find the head. Well, Bella, Steve there. Only one player left to work with, and, well, wall down, get over the other wall, get themselves in a corner. Oh, I mean, you can defend the spike pretty damn well from there. I'm going to put that way. I don't think you're getting in there, Gray. I don't think that's happening. Oh, Flo gets the kill. And a little ult orb as well. Are you going to get away from it? No, there we go. Ult orb as well. Lovely. Well, what a round to start things off for Team Jordas.
So I think we've just found a do not do for the defending
Yeah, maybe for the defending side, don't put your wall directly in front of the spike.
I mean, I love the idea behind it, right? You try and cut off one of those exits from the hall so they all get bunched in as your team tries to pressure them out. But unfortunately, Grey did not have the satchel pack or the pin shells to try and destroy that Sage Wall. So.
Yeah, Flo kind of left his Sage Wall for a while and they just went, hey, you know what would work here?
They just made a pizza.
Yeah.
As we're going to be seeing now a very aggressive push from the defense all the way out into Plaza, making it extremely hard for Jordan to have any control early on.
That's Grey with the bit of a distraction almost, as Nami, Somarcus coming from behind. Zaki manages to get one trade, but it's already almost even Steven. Somarcus have done a lot of damage in this round already. LSD looking for a little more with the classic. Here comes the Lear around the corner. Jordis holding that angle. Need to hold it for a while. They're going to get away now. Lovely. Well, they're giving themselves some space. They can get over towards B once again. Maybe don't put the wall down in the same place this time. Oh, okay. Flo is going to... Not sure about the stopping power of that one. The last one, brilliant. That one,
I mean, you will be able to shoot the toes. It's the one way. Yeah,
I feel like
it's the
you
one
could
way
get
using
round the
that
corner of that
slight
one,
little elevation, but they can indeed
Yeah.
go around the corner. The thing is, to get around the corner, that feet would be exposed first of all. However, not having control of Side Fountain is going to mean that Somarcus can start to wrap around and try and attempt tower control.
They're making a lot of noise. It will be heard as they come in, but then again, they don't have a lot of time. LSD trying to find that first pick, but it's Noodle who will take the head off of Zaki, looking for a couple more with the Ghost, but it's not going to happen. Jordan's come away with the round. It was an expensive one, but nonetheless, keep the rifle. Lovely new rifle. Oh my god. Oh, love that new rifle.
They're so shiny.
Yeah, it is.
The
It's
magpie
shiny.
in me
It's shiny. It
approves.
has blue and pink flashing lights. It's perfect.
I mean, you know me, Twiggy. I'm always a fan of neon stuff.
Oh yeah. You know
Very
what?
bright,
Yeah.
very shiny.
My favorite colors are black and pink. Blue is a great compliment to that. I'll take it any day of the week.
Well, here we go. First rifle rounds on pull. Going to be coming out from both of these teams. Interestingly enough, no one's actually really tried to opt into something like a Marshal or an Operator just yet. But then again, with how some of these sightlines are over them pushing down B, it can be a little bit harder to set those up.
In they come. All the way around here. This time, well, a lot of utility being used from both teams to try and keep them away. It is Grey. They'll take the first pick in the favor of Team Somarcus. That is a spike down as well. Spike carrier already taken down. Gummel manages to pick it up, but can't really get out of dodge right now. Jordas needs to pick onto the all-important initiator on that team. Going for a little more, but the superior weaponry on the side of Team Somarcus will, in the end, take her life. And, and a res back onto Jordas. That's a ballsy move. They are just going to get sprayed down in the end. Somarcus and Houndsu Noodle getting involved, and only one player left on Team Jordas. They've already done well to get this many picks, but it is going to be Dr. Freeze having to pull out a 1v2 in this situation to win it out. Whew, that'll do it. One tap onto Noodle. Sees the last player, and it is clutch. Perfectly played. Somarcus didn't quite bide his time enough.
Yeah, I mean, Somarcus, they try and just have a little bit too much control over a mid, which means that they aren't really having that utility when it does come down to it, trying to keep that spike under their possession. It's going to be an eco now coming out from the defensive side. Interestingly enough, we are going to be seeing that sort of normal mentality of a defensive eco, just try and press in as aggressively as possible and look for picks. It's going to be a convergence over to Plaza. But Jordas, especially with things like these Empresses, it's going to be so brutal if that Rain is able to get the spray through and then go into the ult form and use that faster reload time. As it seems like it's been just a ring around the rosy. Jord is going to be opting for that B site. Lir going to be coming out. They have no idea that this side is entirely barren, but Dr. Freeze is going to be the one that you have to watch out for. That left side on ramps is so brutal if you don't clear it.
And the Spectre, not quite the optimum choice of weapon for that range. So Marcus is not going to find a pick, and, well, Team Jordis can just sit back and wait this whole time. Wait out all of these members. Great, looking for a pick with the Classic. Probably a better weapon than the Spectre from that distance. But at the same time, time ticking down. Nami gets on that spike, but only for a fake. It's right out in the open. So many people can see this one. Gummel trying to hold down the area. They won't be able to get the defuse, but Noodle will get an ace. It's a close round for them. They get all the kills they need. Not quite the spike.
Oof. Couple of seconds out of being able to get that defuse. Jordis able to just keep them occupied and kill that spike diffuser so that it ticks out. And now it is going to be 4 rounds to the attacking side. They've got the Seekers, they've got from the Shadows and the Empress as well. So Marcus, I mean, they've got the res, but again, you just sort of fall back into that mentality of, are they going to be able to have the space if it does become that retake to be able to get it off successfully and make sure that the person survives the animation? Because something that we've seen from the attacking side is that if they're able to get onto that side, it becomes extremely difficult for the defense to have any mention of how they're going to be able to take it back with that tempo.
Jordan's already 4 rounds up now. Seem like they can do any wrong, even if the whole team is eliminated, still managing to win out the round, and that is the advantage of that B site, how open it is. It causes a lot of delays in trying to get that defuse coming through. You can play for time all you like, because you can see it from so many angles. Let's D back here in mid, and out come the Seekers. Push back the defensive side just a little further. Flow is also going to throw that down. Jordis gets out of the dismiss a little bit at the wrong time. Marcus managing to find a hit just before he turns around the corner. I'm not sure he thought he was going to get that one, but hey, kill's a kill. Inch or a mile, who cares?
And the thing is, Jordis don't actually have that A site. LSD doing a very good job of anchoring it right now. The Horn not going to give away Flow's location in the stage out of line of sight, but still means that they're not able to step forward in time. However, wasn't prepared for Dr. Freeze. Be wrapping around and nipping at their heels behind them. 32 seconds left is more than enough time, especially with this Omen waiting, and the dark cover is going to be able to take Great out of the way as well. Does go down, but you have bought the space for your Raze to be able to get onto site and plant.
Wow. Close from now, finding that head, but the flick from Gummel is good. It is Marcus who manages to find head in that very low HP battle in the end. Little tactical crouch. Very nice. Marcus. Oh, wow. A little more. Okay. You know what? Go for it. You deserve it. Just a little bit.
Wow. DM coming out nice and early. As Jordis not having the time to be able to get their way into that post-plant position. I think Gummel was really wanting to be able to sit deep in that corner on the right side of A, but denied it, as we are going to see the first operator now coming out on the board. So Marcus is going to be picking that one up and heading immediately over to B to reside on tower. And immediately off it is going to just go for a little bit of a peek. Oh, hello.
Wow.
Are you going to try and get a little bit gutsy towards ramp?
Oh no, oh no. Now comes the showstopper. Marcus finds it first. Oh, and that's a dismiss just in time as well. Back around the corner finds Gummel as well. Another dismiss just to get out of there. Nobody can chase whatsoever. Dark cover will run out right in front of him. Hey, a few more abilities. Why not? Let's push him back even further. Let's just get him all the way back to ramp. And back to their own spawn. Why not? Gray finds a head. A little more. LSD takes down Dr. Freeze. So Marcus, they're on a roll.
Oh, that play was brutal. That side corner really is just going to be the bane of everyone's existence if they're trying to early rush onto B. Whether it's something like a Sky hiding there or a breach chamber, now we're seeing the Rainer at the moment. And the fact is they try and use the showstopper, thinking that maybe there is going to be a player there, but even if it had connected through that dismiss, you can still just duck behind that little wall of cover to mitigate the insta-kill potential. And it's getting a little bit dangerous for Jordis now. They're going to be on a rougher buy. They're going to have to try and now push onto A because they don't have the weaponry to be able to land the damage through that long distance sight. So that's going to push them right into Slow Marcus, who's going to predict the movement perfectly.
Gonna roll with the operator. I'll find another. Paranoid up. Just dismisses out of there once again. Noodle on the defense. Just takes him out. LSD.
Attacker spawn.
Headshot onto Flow. It's just Zaki left. And it's all done. Oh, took him a while to warm up. They're on their way.
Yeah, I think that's where it gets like really brutal for the defense, right? It's sort of like split in the sense of if the defense has access to the weapons that they want to be able to hold things like the operator means that you can't brute force onto that B site unless you expend so much utility, and then it funnels you towards either trying to take A or mid. And if you're coming in on pistols and the defense can just hold super aggressively and play you for every single inch of this map, it becomes very hard to not only find space to get that spike down, but also to get kills to try and disable your opponent's economy.
Steve's got those haunt lineups. Look at that. 4 detected as they rush their way around. They have to go a little quicker. Noodle, get that wall down. Get out of there. LSD, luckily anchoring on site, will be able to get the first pick onto Zaki. That's not effective whatsoever. Jordis is going to be next up on the roster. Empress out already, but can't quite find the shots to make it useful. That wall is perfectly placed to find some heads, and so Marcus will capitalize off that. Gray finding one as well. It's just Dr. Freeze left on site. We've seen him come out with some heroics already. They can't quite find the shots onto Gray to finish it off, and that 180 will make it 4-4.
Yeah, A site very reminiscent of Haven B. It feels like with those 3 approaches that the defenders can go and push in for the retake. And for Jordis, just not having something like the Nightfall or the Seekers to be able to push that defense back and buy them the time to take the fight separate into the 1 versus 1 just meant that they got overwhelmed with all of his angles to play. And looking at the economy that they're going in with and the lack of ultimates that they have as well, they're in danger of just continuously being outpaced with economy in terms of creds, but also utilities as well.
Different plan maybe for Jordis. Oh, come on. Hey, you know what? Sometimes you just don't want to go any further. It's a split-second reaction. Sometimes it works out. Great. Holding down the fort. Doesn't manage to find a kill there whatsoever. Too many targets. Too much choice. Sometimes difficult. You know, you're staring at all the ice creams in the ice cream parlor and you can't quite choose which one you want to get, so you don't get any in the end. It's too long and Mum tells you have to leave. Noodle, though. He'll take all the ice cream in the parlor. 2 down already. Looking for a couple more. Actually try and retake this one quickly. The plant does go down for Zaki. How much more can they get before they have to run away? Wall to trap him in. Maybe a res will come through as well. It's going to be a horn. To give him a little more space, Noodle somehow gets around the corner and gets a return fire to find the 3rd kill. Maybe able to get an ace. The res is already out. These 2 are stuck in there. They can't do anything about the spike being defused. Marcus is... hey, look, still on the BM, but that's okay. Whatever.
I love that wall, because what it does is it disables that parkour spot entirely. So if you haven't actually tested the map, and you don't know this, normally on Valorant, if you have something like a raised up surface, you can try and jump crouch onto it, right? And that's the only way that you can actually get on top of that fence. If you try and jump up normally, the physics pushes your character back physically. But because that wall is there interrupting the normal wall of the Sage wall, you can't get the jump crouch off. And so they just can't get any elevation. The wall just keeps pushing them away. The Sage entirely stops the bullets going through. And they're able to get the diffusers nice and safe.
Well, can Marcus open it up with the operator again? He will take down the spike carrier of Flow. Come on the other side of the map, is able to take down LSD, but there's Dr. Freeze with the return fire of the operator. And Gray is just going to have to back away from that challenge. No chance you're going to challenge that one with your Vandal in hand. Maybe the Phantom of Jordis will find a kill though. No, Nami there quicker. 3v3 now. And kills going off all along the map. Not quite over towards A, but it is a big map. That's fine. As they head in towards B now.
They're going to have to drop dark cover, so that Gray is going to have to use that showstopper. Satchel packs up from tower, finds the pick onto their mirror. But unfortunately now you've given up high ground control and Noodle has to drop down and try and save that site control.
Dr. Freeze got double peaked. And Marcus, his team, running away with it now.
Yeah,
it went from 4-1, it's 6-4 now. What's going on?
It's really interesting. For Jordis, right, they removed the operator threat. over towards Rams, and then no one actually pushes onto B because they're too scared of that tower control being there. And it takes the full team to have the confidence to actually go for that spike and get it down, which means that they all get caught out when Grey just satchel packs straight from the dark cover far faster than anyone is in position to be able to expect and save themselves from. And now, because you've lost so many rounds in a row, the operator is going to be brought up by Sir Marcus yet again, and for Jordas, they don't have the funds to be able to counter-op themselves, so they're just going to have to ignore that B site entirely. And this is something that So Marcus has become so adept at reading. Whenever they know that they don't have the economy to afford an operator, they make sure that the op is placed towards A.
Oh, Nubidal is able to find the first pick, not quite the second. A little overwhelmed. And Descent, it's a new map, sensory overload. Although, I do love the colours of the map, it's very calming. Not just because it's blue, it's all very flat in a good way, if you get what I mean.
So you say flat, but the thing is, there's so much elevation in this map.
Oh, yeah, not flat physically. Hell no. I just mean, like, you know, the colour scheme is just incredibly, you know, it sticks to
Tranquil.
one corner of a, yeah. Very nice. Well, now let's deal with another flank. You know what, let's go to their spawn. And now we're forcing the last player to run into site where we've got players waiting. In fact, Nami, just round the corner here. Waiting for Zaki. Zaki? Where's his location? Hold on, Nami, looking the wrong way. Didn't expect that, did you? Nor did I. Zaki, dodging bullets like the Matrix, you will get taken down. In the end, 7-4.
Yeah, can't quite cross over to Cafe and grab that cover, and so it does get converged upon from separate angles. The pincer movement fully in play on that A site, which I think B is probably the better if you're able to take control of for that retake, but the problem is that they just don't have the operator to be able to push past So Marcus at the moment, and they don't want to sacrifice the little smokes that they do have, because the Omen is the only one in this offensive composition who does have smokes. So if they use them in the wrong area and the operator's playing from somewhere else, they've wasted their main counter to it, as Showstopper going to be pushed very early out. From Gummel, doesn't find the operator, but does get a lot of information on the fact that there is an absence on that B side other than Tower.
Well, he stopped the kill. Might not have been with the showstopper. That's alright. Value gained in the end. Grey will take down the copy. Flow coming out in mid. Ready to take those picks. You even call this mid? It's kind of B short at this point.
Yeah,
Close enough.
it does.
Yeah.
It's a light, nice long alleyway, perfect for a stage to hold with that wall. But Noodle's already gotten past.
Oh,
He's going to be coming from defender spawn, and Flo was not expecting the stage to be up that close. And now you're about to be pincered in. You just have to watch out for that same angle on the left. LSD is going to take out Gummel, but that's going to immediately give away that position, and you're running right into Jordas.
Jordas fully ready for that one. No hesitation on the shot, but so Marcus, no hesitation. With the operator, it's going to be an 8-4 half for the team. And maybe they didn't quite have the intense pressure to begin with, but they certainly did after those first 4 rounds.
Now then, are we going to see a change-up of how Jordas are going to defend in comparison to So Marcus?
Well, they don't have the haunts to work with this time.
Yeah,
So
that's
it's gonna
the
be-
big difference maker.
Yeah.
Isn't
How
it?
much information can you gain at the start of the round? Not much, which means maybe you're more apprehensive to go for those aggressive plays on the defense. So maybe they're just going to anchor a bit more. I'm fine with seeing that.
Potentially. The problem is, who would you send to anchor? Because you don't have something like a cipher, and you don't have a chamber. That's the real crucial part of this composition, right? You're lacking that chamber, so you have to be a lot more mobile, which I think does play into how big this map actually is. It's very intricate on all of these spaces that's open to the defense as soon as the round starts, as you can see from how Jordas are actually positioned all over the map. Very split, very fragmented. Only the Omen and the Rain are playing close together because they know how important it is to keep control of Art, because Art does have those 2 lineups into main and restaurant.
Yeah, you do see how effective that is. Grey, you'll just spray into the dark cover, find a pick. Lovely. Hey, we'll take it. The lottery won already. Flow though,
Well-
firing back.
For Twiggy, So Marcus, they're taking B, and it's for absolute free. No one is going to be in Hall. And this is where it gets dicey. Because you can just keep yourself hidden, keep yourself out of sight. They've been able to figure out where Jordas is, trying to stay backstabbing towards main. They don't have tower control either at the moment because all of Marcus have hidden themselves really nicely, either all the way into the back of the wall or all the way at the bottom of ramps.
Oh dear. Nami will take down Jordis. Jordis had the jump. But Nami had the shot to find the kill. Flo puts himself out in the open just to get that spike. A little safer, but they're all on very low HP at this point. Gummel defends with the Sheriff. Oh, but it's not quite enough time to get that spike defused. Maybe if you can get this kill, you get in there, but Noodle will just turn around, fire through the edge of the wall, make sure you can't get anywhere near that, and Marcus manages to get, well, I mean, I say Marcus manages to get his team the 9th round, Noodle manages to get Marcus's team the 9th round.
Yeah, B is definitely the harder for the defenders to be able to retake. As you can see, there's just so many places for that attacking team to be able to hide themselves if they have the time, and the fact that Jordis were so positioned towards that A side did mean that their rotations were extremely lengthy. They're not running the Jet, they're not running the Chamber nor the Neon. And those are really the free agents that you can count to drift into different parts of the map because they have those speedier utilities to reposition themselves nice and quick. Is now having won the pistols, so Marcus's team are rocking the SMGs. Dr. Freeze, waiting in the dark cover, is not going to be able to catch the timing. And LSD is going to be able to use Suspect to take the Omen out before the shotgun takes the head off.
Hello there. Oh, Taki, your arm's showing. Oh, back straight up into Marcus. That is unfortunate. That little sewer is very cute. We do love to see it. But yeah, no, maybe not the best for hiding away. Flawless round from Team So Marcus, making it 10-4. I mean, not really giving away anything there. Not much to analyze at that point. So, hey, is what it is. This is where, you know, the defensive side is going to come into their own a little bit. You know, if somebody has been saving up for an operator at this point, it's going to be really nice, easy to buy that up. Oh, can hear a bit of Portuguese. We're in Lisbon right now. Obviously, a little bit of Portuguese going on. Over at Tannoy, underwater. Wow, amazing. Cool.
Tiggy, that's a gamble stack towards the B. Jordis have worked out that B is the harder one for the defense to be able to retake. So if it is going to be an A push, they will at least have all of these different entrances to the site that they can take. LSD is going to be positioned, faking towards this B site, is going to be able to pick out Jordis' position, but the Reyna still going to be able to take that fade away. As Noodle uses the wall to give their Reyna a little bit of elevation into Secret to see and catch Jordis' team on the rotation.
It's going to have to be impressive. Marcus can't quite find the kill. Has to back all the way up. Dr. Freeze will be there. Oh, to get the trade, and Ray is going to be taken down. I think sound cues making it a little easy, but Nami, she'll find two. Go back around that window, maybe you can get in. Help the team as they move in. There's a third for Nami, and How To Noodle takes down the fourth member. Just Dr. Freeze left. They don't know where he is. I'll take down How To Noodle, but only 30 HP to work with in this retake. Now he turns around the corner and will find the head for the 4K and their 11th round. Wow.
Ooh. Pearl just sometimes becomes a horror game, especially Window, right? Dr. Freeze just pops up from out of nowhere, just like, hello! And takes one out. And I think that is something that the attacking team is going to have to worry about if it does become that A retake, but we saw that So Marcus's... They knew that Jordis would be wrapping over from B. They were able to cut them off before they properly hit the site. And this is not most likely going to be the round that Jordis' team are able to turn things around with the buy that they're having. This is much more of them trying to conserve a little bit of economy so they don't have to entirely force up on match point when So Marcus hits 12.
Well, yeah, okay. I was going to say, Freeze looking for information. Hopeful teleport that from the shadows. Not quite going to get a lot of info, but hey, you know where one player is. That's good. Flow, long range, Ghost. Not quite going to be enough to outmatch the Vandal. At least Dr. Freeze has picked one up. Jordis getting in there onto Grey. Making it a 3v3. Nami chasing her down now. We'll find the head first. It is only Dr. Freeze left. 1 versus 3. Spike is not down, and well, it is now. It's on the ground. There's the plant from Nami. Dr. Freeze has a monumentous task to try and retake this one. It's all going to be in your hands to go through this one. That's a risky teleport. It pays off. One head found. Looking for the second. Will get the 4K and the defuse, making it their first round in 11 rounds. And they'll give themselves a little bit of breathing space before they get to match point, Team So Marcus. Oh yeah, there we go. The return. It's been a long time coming. Hey, look, it's been 20 minutes since Marcus did that to your team. Get your revenge. I understand completely.
Well, unfortunately, they are still going to have to get a lot of these rounds just back to back to back if they're going to be able to equalize the scoreline and potentially take us into overtime. And the funds are still very much lacking for this defensive side, so they can't really operate with the operator, something that So Marcus' team were using as a crutch to just checklist off areas of the map that Georges' team were not able to push. And it is going to be up to Georges' Reyna. This Empress has to go massively if they want to be able to put themselves in with the chance of buying up things like that up and carrying this series on a little bit longer.
Well, out goes the wall from Noodle. Quick and easy plan. Write that one down in your notebook. It's icebox all over again. Beautiful. Now they have control of the site. Team Georges taking their time getting over that, but at the very least finding the kills. Although LSD comes in from behind on Zaki. Takes that down, and Marcus is there with the support of the operator. Flo catches a rotating LSD. Marcus, lethal so far. 2 versus 3 for Team Georges. It is Dr. Freeze again to be holding off all these members. Halfway done with the defuse. Can you get it there before Marcus turns around the corner? No, you can't, and he will slam you in the head with the classic right click, making it match point. 2 teams So Marcus. This is the best of 1. I will remind everybody.
Yeah, definitely write that attack down because it was absolute textbook. Get onto the B site, use that Sage Wall, get the spike down nice and safe, and then So Marcus just gets to play bounce up. And apparently everyone from Georges were getting kicked out of the club.
Yeah, they were wearing tracksuits.
You know, I love the fact that that lines up even better because now the call-out is literally club.
Oh, yeah. Cool. Hell yeah. Actual bouncer. He was looking for IDs and they're all fake. Oh. Well, that's a nice clear out. Let's go. Come on. All the way over the other side of the map with the showstopper. Not going to be able to do much with that as they move in. The response is going to be quicker from Team Georges, at the very least. Flow right round here. Oh, and Marcus was pre-aiming the wrong position, but he flicks down. He'll find the kill. 2 members dealt with already. No, that's your teammate. I wouldn't shoot that. Not that it matters, but it's just a waste of a bullet.
Yeah,
Georges,
this is going
around the corner.
to be a real predicament for this defensive side to be able to get out from Twiggy and its match point. So also Marcus need to do, they don't necessarily need to win the fight, they just need to stop Georges from being able to get onto site and defuse that spike.
They haven't so far. Great. Takes down 1, but that makes it a 1v2. Can he kill him before the showstopper goes out? No, he cannot. And that showstopper will be the death toll for Team Georges. Team So Marcus take the first game of the group of everything going on so far. Good performance, really good performance. In fact, you know what? That looked like mastery of the map already. That's an impressive. Well, maybe not mastery. We'll see. You know, it'll develop over time. We're going to see plays that are incredibly outmatching this in probably a week. I'll see something on average going as like YouTube Shorts or TikTok or something that'll blow everybody's minds, and then we'll have a completely new meta, and none of this will matter. But for now, amazing performance from Team So Marcus. They get themselves the first game on the board, and with a very nice round difference as well.
Yeah, I think this is definitely one of those maps where the operator is going to come in real handy whether you're attacking or defending, especially towards that B side. As we saw, So Marcus is going on an absolute tear with that one weapon, and we likened it to Icebox, the play with the B side where you just get that Sage Wall and get the spike down fast. It's definitely very much like we're playing Icebox again, with a little bit of verticality coming over from ramps. The fact that the operator really is going to be key in anchoring some of these sites and making sure that you push your opponents out. Club wraparound too, acting very much like Garage, where if it is that retake position, the defenders can try and pincer on through. But we've already seen be a little bit harder to retake than A.
Yeah, can we take a look at the scoreboards yet, Sylv, or are we waiting? Okay, we're waiting for scores. Obviously, that was a pretty quick game. All the other games are probably going to be taking a little while longer. So, I mean, we've just got that to wait for. That'll probably be after the break. But I mean, you know what? I saw a lot of interesting stuff there. Obviously, the triangle wall that we all saw at the beginning, quite impressive. You know, maybe we don't dwell on that too long. I feel like that wasn't really planned from either team. But yeah, no, I feel like that operator definitely over towards the B site was a massive. I think that's going to come into play a lot more. I think we'll see a lot of Chamber. I think we will see, you know, a lot of maybe Jet, something to get out of there. Obviously, it worked for Marcus because he's good on Reyna. He can get out of there with the dismisses. And he's quite confident in his ability to get that first pick, which is what the Reyna needs to do. But yeah, I think that's a big part of it, is getting somebody to anchor on a site, but also just being able to play confidently around the map. You know, you saw how the Haunt was so capable in getting people quick flanks, getting people the ability to take mid control incredibly quickly, and I think that's going to be a massive part of it. It is kind of a mix of Ascent, maybe Ascent split an Icebox in a way, in how people are going to play this one, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, I think as well, it sort of goes back to the whole fact that it's a dome, right? So it definitely feels like the sky hitbox is a lot taller than it is in other maps too, where you can go for those really punishing long javelin throws of things like that Fade utility with the Haunt coming through to pick out the locations of all of these players. I shudder to think what's going to happen when things like Viper mains learn how snake bites are going to be able to be set up, because we've seen the Haunt coming in clutch and picking out all of these players in places like A main at the very start of these rounds. What's going to happen when Vipers learn that they can just sit all the way back in, say, Defender's spawn, lob their pixel somewhere lined up to when the sun crosses the moon and Jupiter aligns with Venus, and then are able to land that snake bite into Poison Orb, DK, absolute HP health strike?
Yeah, what if you throw your Astra in mid or something like that? You have gravity wells all over the place. Maybe some nice traps will come through on there. Obviously, that's one of those things that's going to take a little while longer for people to figure out. Those intricacies with agents that are not incredibly easy to play, not a meta on other maps and stuff like that. So Astra is going to be one of those ones that I think is going to be difficult to figure out where she might fit into it. But I feel like could be really, really important in kind of professional meta comps later down the line. We'll see how that turns out. Obviously, this is going to take a while to get into the professional map pool, but I genuinely, the way we've seen this play out, I can't wait to see what people come up with up in the top echelons of play, to see, you know, what you know, the biggest teams in the world are going to be able to bring out on this map, because we've already seen some brilliant, maybe not like interplays between a team, but being able to come out with stuff individually that is really important to the progression of a team throughout a round or throughout the whole half in general. So I'm excited already, excited to go into the rest of today's games, but incredibly excited for the future as well.
Yeah, and I mean, given the fact that this map is going to be replacing Split as well, I'm really excited that we might potentially see the metas that Split had still carrying over to this one, because, you know, a lot of people immediately zeroed into the fact that you could have a lot of lineups, so Sova could come into play, but getting to see that Sage still being one of those integral sentinels in compositions, just with all of the utility that was being used, not just the walls, which were absolutely massive in being able to deny diffusers or get that spike down fast, but also the slow orbs coming through, right? And another thing that we got to see was resurrections being used without the wall to actually disguise the animation and guarantee that the player survives, because of all of these jutty out corners that you can use as natural cover, which does mean that for the Sage it's a little bit easier to employ that ultimate and guarantee that you both survive its duration.
Yeah, well, we've both got our first taste here of Pearl, and I'm sure everybody is going to want to get some more tasters later on, but we're going to head to a quick break while the other teams finish up their games, and we'll be straight back with the next game of the day. We have lots of content for you today, but we're going to have to wait just a little bit to get that sweet taste of Pearl later on. So, we'll be back in just a bit. Don't go anywhere. I hope to see you in a bit.
My name is Tina, and I'm a part of the Goose House community.
My name's Ross. I am a junior events manager for the Goose House.
Being a part of the Goose House community has actually helped me to improve my language skills, because I'm surrounded by people who are English speakers only.
Since joining the Goose House, I became a lot more social. I became more open with how I am as a person. before when I joined, I was like really down, obviously with COVID and stuff like that. And then I joined, and everyone asked me how I was every day. They'd speak to me, and my worst points, I'd always had someone there to back me and speak to me. I'd never attended a LAN event, and the most recent LAN event was in October, November for Epic LAN, and they encouraged me to go, and it was the best thing I've ever done in a long time.
For advice for people that are seeking for any gaming community, I would actually recommend just not being shy. You know, turn your mic on, don't be scared of being judged, that people are going to judge you because of your accent. Just don't be scared, because people, like, especially the Goose House, it's a very open community. No one's going to judge you.
The main bit of advice I can give is don't be afraid to go out of your own comfort zone to meet new people. Sometimes, like, going out of that comfort zone, you can meet the most amazing people in the world. Like, some of the people I've met are, like, now my best friends.
Throughout those few months that I've been a part of the Goose House, I've met such a big amount of great people that I'm so thankful for. The admins, Dan, Meg, Casso, Sly, there are so many more people, but the whole admin crew is so nice, so helpful, and I'm so thankful for them for just making me feel very safe.
Just the main admins in general, like, a lot of them backed me and supported me into getting to where I am today. And honestly, I've had like the most support in the community that I've ever had, and it felt nice. Like, I've never really had that support for my second family.
Cause you won't look after my Cause you fucking love it when I feel. Cause you won't look after my myself from all you have.
a cigarette smoke till it's in my head, take it all away. Yeah, I'ma light it up just like a cigarette smoke till it's in my head, take the pain away. Let it burn, let it burn, let it burn. Let it burn, let it So I'ma light it up just like a cigarette smoke till it's in my head, take it all away. Yeah, I'ma light it up just like a cigarette smoke till it's in my head, take the pain away.
broken when you're not around. Unspoken words I'm screaming out. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Now.
Wait for me, I'm not far behind. I know that I can change. Remembering all of those nights beneath the window frame. Don't know why we keep going round and round in the same place. Can't decide to live my life on the ground or in outer space. Live my life on the ground or in outer space. Ground or in outer space. Wait for me, I'm not far behind. I know that I can change. Remembering all of those nights beneath the window frame. Don't know why we keep going round and round in the same place. Can't decide to live my life on the ground or in outer space. Ground or in outer space. Ground or in outer space. Ground or in outer space.
I will free myself from all you, yeah.
a cigarette smoke till it's in my head, take it all away. Yeah, I'ma light it up just like a cigarette smoke till it's in my head, take the pain away. Let it burn, let it burn, let it burn. So I'ma light it up just like a cigarette smoke till it's in my head, take it all away. Yeah, I'ma light it up just like a cigarette smoke till it's in my head, take the pain away.
Welcome back to the Goose House Pearl Influencer Showdown. We took a short break, obviously. It's 32 degrees over here. I needed to get my beauty rest. And we are back with another best of one of Pearl. Once again, this is a charity event, and everybody is going to be playing best of ones of Pearl all day long. Not all day long, but you know, you get what I mean. And we just got our first few games done. As you can see, Team So Marcus, Team Joshman up at the top of Group A, and up at the top of Group B, we've got Trio UK and Yinsu's team up there. So things are shaping up. Things are shaping up. We've got Team So Marcus. They're in the lead in terms of round difference, and you know, it may come down to that in the end. We'll see, but usually the top stands out by quite a bit. And Team So Marcus does have a bit of a cracked team, so I'm not that surprised in that regard. But we're going to be heading into our next game very shortly. If I remember correctly, it's Team Risco versus Team Flight.
It is indeed. And this is one that I've actually been really looking forward to, because these are the two teams that actually made it to the Fade Influencer Showdown Finals, Tookie. So both of these teams, extremely good. Extremely strong coming into this one, as you can have a little further look at Group B. Team Flights are actually beaten out 11-13 by Team Yinsu.
Yeah, I mean, it was close. It was very close, but Team Yinsu came away with it, which is great for Team Yinsu. Well done, guys. But yeah, Team Flights is not a team we expected to be at the bottom of the leaderboard so far. Although they do seem to, in these kinds of events, be having a bit of a tough time most of the time. It was just last time was completely different. They absolutely stomped and got through to the finals, but they're back to old ways in terms of leading the back of the leaderboard. But we're going to see. You know, maybe it was a fluke. Maybe it was a fluke. Team Yinsu gets away with one, and maybe Team Flight will get one back now.
Yeah, I would definitely say that learning a new map is a little bit harder than trying to integrate a new agent, right? Because it's not just one person who suddenly has to learn new lineups. It is all 5 of your players, and you have a very set, limited amount of time where you do get to go into customs and 10-man lobbies, trying to figure out which agent is the best to bring this one through. We saw a very similar composition in the first series. I'm hoping that we're going to see slightly different, more varied compositions in the next couple of series that we're going into, right? The only real difference was that Fade coming on out, which seemed to be doing absolute wonders for tagging up information, getting to see where those players are. With that bigger skybox, it does definitely feel like that Haunt is getting a little bit more value. I'm seeing a lot of Cypher actually as well coming on through, with like Cypher cameras being used in the same places as those Haunts, where you do get a bird's eye view on a lot of how these sites are operated and open. And we did talk about, you know, maybe seeing something like a Chamber getting to come through and anchor one of those sites like B. Definitely just having one player to be able to anchor that, so you can have all of your other team cover those more approachable entrances to the A, I think would definitely pay off.
Yeah, I think, you know, we saw, who was it playing the Reina? So Marcus, actually, who was sitting in Hook. I've called it Hook now, in B a lot, anchoring there with that operator. It's a nice place, especially if you can get out, which, you know, obviously Reina can do if you get a pick. Maybe Jet can do with if you wind up the dash at the right time. Chamber, definitely good at getting out of that. There's a safe little behind the box. You can put one of your rendezvous points, and then all the way back around site you can put another one. That should be perfect. So I could see that being a very, very good place. Sit in Hook, Chamber, get your tour de force out, absolutely slam some people, and then you can just get out scot-free. So yeah, no, I think that's probably why Chamber is going to be quite a... I mean, he's already a kind of a staple pick, but he's going to become, I think, very much a staple in Pearl.
Definitely. I wonder if Tyra's actually going to be looking into this Viper. I thought we'd see a little bit more of Viper coming through. We discussed, you know, how long that B main side is when you try and move from ramps, and if you don't have something like that Sage, you can fall back onto the Toxin screen to make sure that your approach is a little bit safer and block out line of sight from tower. But the big difference is that, you know, bullets can still go through the Toxin screen. I'm extremely interested to see whether or not we're going to get double initiator coming out from the defenders as well, because this is something actually that we're seeing from the other side, that we're going to have both the Sky and the KO, so they do know how open that A site can be, and you're going to be able to have double flashes to make sure that if there is a crossfire, then you can get your Jet nice and safely in, not having to worry about just dropping a Cloudburst and hoping that that's going to be enough space for the rest of the team to move and play off of.
Double initiator on the attacking side there, which is not something we've seen so far. Whereas on your opposite team, Talia doesn't go for the Viper, but Dave does instead, which is great. But you still have that Sage. That Sage, so useful, as we saw. So many walls that influenced the flow of play. Probably 2 or 3 that actually stopped diffuses, stopped plants as well. So obviously, you know, it's one of those icebox situations. We'll talk about it over and over again. that sometimes when a map first comes out, there's unprecedented kind of stuff that happens. You know, sometimes it becomes essential that you pick an agent just because it gives you a massive advantage. Sometimes it goes get patched out, just like in icebox. It kind of, well, I mean, it wasn't patched out, but it was kind of nerfed. The usage of Sage. Maybe we'll see the same thing later on in the life cycle of this, but it's early days. You never know. Maybe Sage could be pushed out by other things, by natural means, by people finding meta places to plant spikes and get into sites nicely. I think Viper could be a very good replacement for that.
Well, Resco is going to go straight for plaza control and try to push into mid doors off of the back of it. It's going to be a little bit dangerous for Alphen Lee. Is able to shoot out that Trailblazer, tries to go for a Trailblazer of their own. Gets the stun, but doesn't have anyone to be able to... Oh, there it is. Flights crossing into the back, able to cover that Sky. Making sure that Resco don't get to move forward. And this is a little bit problematic, right? This is why I think if you have that Jet, you want to try and push your way a little bit closer to places like A Art. Because these very narrow hallways are very good for Skies to be able to hold corners. They're not very good for that dash to be able to properly get all of the mobility that the Jet is looking for.
Alphen Lee, you are a Chad. You just sat there, fully flashed twice, didn't move a muscle. Got away with it. 3 kills. I mean, that's you know, feet planted on the ground kind of stuff. Excellent goalkeeper material. Ooh.
That's a double Marshall play.
A little bit of folk music. I wasn't talking about the picks. I'm not going to lie. I was talking about the folk music. But yeah, the Marshall picks as well. Oh yeah, those Marshall picks, man. That's exactly. I talk about the game professionally. Anyway, UB gets one, gets out. Lovely. A bit of that chamber action. Oh, hello, Flights. How are you doing, buddy? Wow, the comeback from... not comeback, sorry. I mean, the push from Team Flights has been unstoppable so far. Deck only managing...
Cover going out.
the only one managing to get a kill. Gonna have to use that Omen utility to get all the way around there. Actually, really useful Omen on this, being able to teleport all the way around the map, get around corners. Lovely.
It's a little bit of a standoff too at the moment, as Yubi has crossed all the way up past Hook. Is going to be keeping an eye out towards that exit of Club. And if Riska aren't careful, they're about to get pincered in, as those other players are going to be coming out from Plaza. Woo! But that's exactly what Riska were looking for. There's the Spectre spray. They're able to pick out 2, and now it is just going to be Dave. Riska do have that spike as well, 30 seconds left. They should have enough time to be able to get onto that B site, but they don't yet know where that Viper is. Whereas they don't know if that Viper is going to be popping out from behind them, or if Dave is going to take a little bit of a detour and pop out towards that higher position.
Yeah, luckily no retake toxin screen able to be used, but you know, still 2 snake bites. It's going to be able to clear some corners nicely. Luckily, clearing the wrong corner. Unlucky. But yeah, no, I was going to say Snakebite, you know, obviously since it's been nerfed, can't really clear a corner, technically. But, obviously, very useful if you can get in there. Get one in that little banana area at the back of sight, elbow. It's going to do a lot of damage, but it didn't quite work out. And that's a lovely little anti-eco from Riska.
Yeah, and now Riska, knowing that Flights are going to be coming in on a very bad buy, they can look to just book it down main onto that B site. Pistols, I mean, you've got Hook to hide in, but that's really the main place that you need to worry about. Something like a Judge or a Headhunter holding, and that is very quickly just going to be ripped apart by the Vandal. Blackout already got that dash primed, ready to use. Clyde's going to be coming on through. Dark cover too. Make sure that Elfin Lee is not going to be able to buy the rest of the team the space, but they don't actually clear the sky.
Well, definitely do any more pushing around. Now going to be able to get out of here, Team Riska. Just sit all the way back, but it is a long way to fire down, and if you just hold yourself all the way around the corner, you can get it off, especially if Talia takes all the bullets for you. Oh no, Riska. You got to be able to control that Vandal spray. Oh dear.
Well, the get down Mr. President play is going to be paying off absolutely perfectly. And Flights, they played that wonderfully. Just play for a retake, hold yourself nice and close. Elfin Lee's going to be able to have Seekers that she can send out in this next round to buy them all of the information on where Riska are going to be pushing from. And this time it is going to be the attacking side, spreading it a little bit more. Going for mid control, it seems, as it will be that pincer play into Plaza.
Pincer play into Plaza. Flights is going to open things up. If I should go straight past him. Doesn't want to take that fight. His backup is well on its way. Blackout. He's looking for something, but well, oh, did that tag? I don't think that tagged. Unfortunate. Oh no, it did. I definitely saw him stung for a second there. Here come the Sackshawls. Oh, what is that, Flights? Flights,
oh,
no. No, but no. I can't be dealing with this. It's too. It's too early. It's too early in the map's life for me to be seeing this kind of thing. Flights, you can't sit up there and just get free kills, man. You can't do it. Acre, don't do it. Acre, don't walk around that corner. I swear. I swear to God. I can't deal with it. Let's look somewhere else. You can see him just floating up there. Oh no, guys, don't do it.
It's gonna be right into the
You can
screen.
see his foot. Look up. Acre, look up, please. Acre, no. Acre, no. They don't even know. They don't even know he gets 2.
Yeah, Tsugi, maybe the foot could have been spotted, but the toxin screen is disguising. Oh no! If the Rays can jump up there, so too can a Jet. And that's not going to be a fun one for people to have to worry about clearing.
Teleport's ready.
Luckily, the rest of the team has cleared up the mess that Flights made, and there are 3 members still alive in this push. Spoda will get the kill. And
Yeah, but
they take the second round, but
it's not
at
just
the
one
cost-
round.
at
You
the
know,
cost
that
of
hasn't
their-
just cost Riska,
Yeah.
Flights rather, one
That's
round.
cost, yeah.
That's cost every single person going up against Arrays on this map. They will forever have to be worried about
That's
moving out from
scary,
art.
dude.
Oh, that's terrifying to think about.
How do you find that fight? Buddy, what were you doing? What?
It's literally every single time a map comes out, I swear, these players, they just turn on infinite abilities and pogo stick everywhere
Yeah.
to see what they can land on.
My dude saw a little ledge and went, that's free real estate. I don't know, Flights. Flights, you need to stop. Out goes the paranoia. Alpha Lee is going to be holding down the site with Frenzy in hand. Oh, that's a fake. And Riska will take advantage of it fully. Free kill. Nika. The other Sky. Look at the kills all over the place. It's Blackout. It's going to find the next headshot. Two players remain on Team Flights. Make that one. Dave, Sheriff. What can you do with it? Players everywhere. Not much. It's a flawless round from Team Riska, and they keep it going.
Yeah, now they've got all of these ultimates to find that snowball potential too. Null command is going to be absolutely brutal if Team Flights don't play for retake. And I mean, it is something that we have seen them do, especially towards that B site. They are more than happy about letting Riska just get a little bit of space and then pushing them all the way back into main and then ramps. Using the fact that other than that Viper, they don't really have Omen rather, they don't really have someone who can drop those smokes and keep that site obscured, as that's already going to be a lovely setup coming through. Deck tries to take a step backwards, isn't going to be able to afford that second detonation.
Reload. Oh, fragment grenade perfectly placed to push Dave out as well. Blackout takes out Dave and get all the way in. No, Flight's having a hard time of controlling this. Tour de Force is out, so retake could be on, but Team Riska has swarmed and left. Well, Toyama will get that pick, but hey, look where the rest of the team is.
Yeah, it's a big old
Not
ruse.
on B.
And that Toxin screen is already going to be stuck on that B site. Spider is going to be able to meet them as they move out from Secret. Isn't able to find the pick though, and now Flights can decide about hopping through that window or going straight from Flowers.
Holding it down. Oh, Deck.
Last player standing.
Headshot. Only Deck left. I'll take down Talia. Not quite. Elthan Lee. You do get that spike diffused. And make it 3-3. Close game.
Yeah, it's always really dicey when you sacrifice players to sell a fake that hard. And the fact, unfortunately, that you lost your KO doesn't really work out for them in the long run because they don't have those flash drives or the fragments to be able to police how Flights can approach that A site once more. And the Viper's Pit being in play too, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a very early Viper's Pit trying to funnel them towards, well, I would say that if we saw an operator play coming out, but Flights actually have not opted to use that despite having UP on this chamber. Haven't really pushed their economy into a point where they're using that as a win condition as a crutch. So even when they lose some of these ransom players, they do have a lot of money to play with still.
Let's see how effective Yuki can be without that tour de force, that operator. What have you. Just, stay back here. Dark cover, doing a lot of work for the team. Talia takes down Aka, leaves two members standing there by themselves. And, well, I mean, Team Flight's taking advantage of everything here. Deck tries to get round the corner. UP will dome him. But there's another dome. Spoda onto UP. Chamber to chamber. Oh, Blackout! Takes out his knives just in time. Heard the footsteps. Maybe Judge, not the best weapon. Take out those knives. Perfect. Oh, another headshot for Blackout with the showstopper? Not quite. It's similar.
Oh no.
Projectiles. They do a lot of damage. That's the showstopper.
Spike's been picked up in Plaza. And now Talia is going to have to try and cut them off.
Well placed. Oh. No, not quite. Blackout. Hero of the round. 4-3.
Oof, those two ultimates from Riska really saved them on a round that they needed to win for their economy to start to recover. And this time around it is actually going to be the defense on a little bit of an eco. The Marshal's going to be coming out from UP2. So they can try and use that one in the initial point of contact to chip away at these health bars. But again, it's going to be extremely hard to do because it's not early range Marshall. You've still got armor padding out Riska's health bar. It's not that one tap potential with the operator or the tour de force. In fact, 2 Marshals going to be coming out from flights. Try and anchor on, but Dave is going to be taken out. And now that Viper, who could have used that pit to immediately stop Riska from making a move onto the B, is going to be taken away.
You can see that uncertainty about the map there as UB tried to get away and remembered, this is a new map. I don't know where I'm going. Hold on a sec. Okay, get my bearings. Oh, flights, no. No, you gotta take a little more time than that, buddy. Oh, Riska, the immediate dome back. UP uses 2 headhunter shots to try and get rid of that Trailblazer. They're just around the corner here, and Blackout is hunting 4 kills. Lee manages to get one. Blackout fires back into the dark cover. Anyway, there, and now you're surrounded, Lee. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, I think for all of these retakes, it really is going to hinge on the fact that you're in position to catch them out before they can put themselves into places like tower, halls, and also grab control of ramps, right? The fact that it takes flights so long to try and rotate from club into ramps that they get taken out from afar with those rifles when they eventually pop up. However, this is a round where they can go into that full buy. It's still a precarious position for their economy to be in. If they lose this round, they are going to be back onto that eco. But it should give them the confidence to be able to drop this Viper's Pit to actually be used into play, especially with Riska not having things like that null command or the Seekers to try and force that Viper out of the ultimate and end it early.
Fighters found the perfect position there to just sit a little far up for the utility to stun him up, flash him up. Just sits there and waits for it to pass him and then takes advantage of it. Gets 1 kill, gets out. Luckily, they managed to get 1 head. It's 2 now, but Dave is there holding down site. Make sure nobody gets anywhere near. I mean, it's not like we're anywhere near a site. We're just in the middle of the map. Just have a brawl in the middle. Nobody's going to get anywhere near a site.
Yeah, Plaza is definitely a scary place to be in when it is.
It's like it's a site away from home. It has all the characteristics of a site, but you can't plant the spike there. It's lovely.
Yeah, it really is. It does feel very much like it is just the heart of the map, connecting every organ to every area. As Dave once again is going to set this really brutal toxin screen up. Not only does it cut you off when you try and move into mid doors, but it also guarantees so much control over the sightline from ramps into B side.
Slower around than usual this time. Comes the ult from Riska. He will move forward. It's a nice flash as well. UP is going to have to wait a second. I've been very cautious about this one because there's so many angles that you have to clear as you move in towards B. That's a trade-off for what is a lovely open area to begin with. Is that there's so many places you need to. Oh, Tali. Hey, you got the wall up. At the very least. But at the expense of your life.
Spike planted.
And the rest of your team a little far away to help out now. Converging in the area, but despite the amount of routes to this site, there are so many ways that you can defend this one effectively, and Deck is just waiting for flights to turn around the corner. We've got a flank going on from our Jet player, and everything's going wrong. But there's a Viper's Pit. That's going to help. Nope, never mind. It's not going to help at all. It's down.
Enemy remaining.
Riska going ham. UP, last player alive. Not going to happen. What a flawless round.
Yeah, the Viper's Pit comes through, and Flights are really hoping that they can use that one to make sure that all of their players survive re-entering into that site and can put themselves into a position for the Sage Wall to just last a little bit longer and them to start getting that spike diffused. But it is just Riska moving forward, taking out the Viper, removing that crutch that Flights were relying on. And now they're back onto the eco, onto the back foot. You do have the res available, but you're not really going to have the time to be able to use it on this round. You are just looking for picks. Look at how aggressive this defense is getting, already moving to meet Riska, trying to find anything that they can with these pistols. Sky will meet them. Sky will fall. Sage entirely suppressed in the back. Can't use the slow up to stop this rush push from coming on through quite yet.
Wow, it just goes for teleports everywhere. All over the place. Fearless. It's working out. Well, 2 players left for team fights, and they are a world away at the moment. It is Spoda who's going to be holding down this angle. Rendezvous in place in case he needs to get out of that, but can just spray down. UP will find the head with the head hunter. Pick up a weapon? Maybe. 1v3, I've seen weirder things happen.
Grab
Not
gun,
if-
go.
How many ledges are there for you to stand on? Jesus. Blackout is just up in the middle of nowhere. On a wall, mounting goat. Standing at a 50-degree angle on the edge of an arch.
I wouldn't say mountain goat. I would probably go for like snow leopard. It's a little bit more terrifying and lethal than a
I don't
mountain
think snow
goat.
leopards can I feel like they're a bit too cumbersome to stand on.
I'm sorry,
thin-
snow leopard cumbersome.
I mean, they're not exactly light or agile. I guess they're agile, but...
They're very agile, thank you very
Round
much.
in the half.
I'm sorry, I haven't met any snow leopards.
Oh yeah, they're common over here in Scotland where we have the hills and mountain tall bits, but no, it is gonna be a team fight. At least UP able to hold on to a rifle, gonna be grabbing up that Guardian and probably setting herself up over towards B main so that you can pick them apart from a distance. Or just going straight for the throat in Plaza once more.
There's a tour de force. Ooh, deck is right there. They can definitely see the barrel of that tour de force. That is a long gun. Oh! Fight's got domed. Not sure where from or how. Deck is just watching. Always watching. Where's Owski? Lee is going to be the next to challenge Plaza. I love a bit of Plaza gameplay. Blackout. It's the next kill. And that tour de force is looking like it's going to have to fire a lot more deadly shots.
Got him.
I swear, you know what? I'm just not going to talk from now on.
Last player standing.
What's the point? Whenever I say something should happen, somebody dies.
Ah,
I'm cursing them.
it's the caster curse.
And a
It's
bad
coming
luck
into fruition.
Yep.
Feels like we're back on split, you know, Tuggy. When these teams are able to make their way out all the way from mid and hit defender side spawn and just split that defensive side when they try and go for those repositions. And that's exactly what Riska have been able to do to grab themselves 4 kills and also set this spike up. Davis still looking for exit frags at the moment. Is going to be able to run into Blackout, who drops the Clyde burst and has to flee.
Hey, there was a hint of nostalgia in your voice when you talked about split there. Are you going to miss it?
No.
Switching sides.
Damn, no remorse.
No
None whatsoever.
remorse.
Get
No.
out.
I remember too many splits, Tuggy. Too many splits.
Too many splits.
It was the worst
My
for Judge
legs, they
meta.
hurt.
It was the worst for Frenzy meta.
She really
The amount
doesn't
of
like the frenzy,
times
guys.
that we didn't have an initiator on my team and we would try and rush push
Aw.
A. It didn't work out. Let's
No.
just leave it at that.
Yeah, doesn't sound like it. Okay, well, 8-4 half. Team Rizka out in front. They can get this pistol round. Things are looking very nice for them. But they do have to get the pistol round, obviously.
Yeah, but they are running double initiator, which
They
is
are.
extremely good at getting yourself into aggressive positions, especially with that's a gorgeous fragment. Coming on for 0.2, gonna be tagging out all of these players.
Oh, that's not optimal positioning.
Yeah, that lineup not quite working out. But now
Yeah.
no one suspects Dex to actually be in that dark cover. They don't expect the
Oh,
Omen to
yeah,
be that
hey,
close.
look. Well, I got away with it. Taking out flights, lovely. Bye bye, dual rest. Hey, sometimes all you gotta do is really hurt those you love, and you'll get far in life.
Spike planted.
Don't do
oh,
that.
Rizka. Alright. UP, Headhunter. Gets the job done. Blackout now with the Headhunter replacement. The
player
Tesco
standing.
value Headhunter. Looking for a bit more. Nope. It's apparently good value for money.
Gun here.
Every little helps. As Ruska are going to be able to get the defuse coming on through. And yeah, we talked about it, right? We said that, okay, this defense is going to have double initiator. Which is very good for being able to just get the tempo under your control very early on in these rounds, as well as for flights that are walking in, they're having to put a lot of faith into UP getting these first picks on that chamber, because they're not running something like the Jet, so you can't really set your raise up as easily to survive and buy the rest of your team that space, because once those guiding lights run out, the raise doesn't have something like a Clyde burst to be able to drop and encompass their entire being on these sites, something that is always going to be there for Blackout, as is the double Marshall play. Once more, going to be coming out from a defensive team. One over towards B, one towards Plaza, our absolute favorite place in this entire map. And in a moment, I think it's going to be Dave's lead.
Setting things up. Elfinly with the next. Trading back and forth. Riska doing a lot of work as per usual. And, oh, almost lined up from that. Do you think anybody has been checking that? Oh, well, here we go. No, nobody's checking the. They've all been burned, and they put it behind them. Flight's standing up on a ledge has scarred them in such a way that they have forgotten it. They've blocked it out of their memory. Oh, Dave. Oh, Dave, you don't have a head anymore. Oh, UP, it's all up to you. In a blink of an eye. It's all gone wrong.
Yep. Those two marshals.
It's all gone wrong.
And the fact that that toxin screen was still in play. Flight's not quite able to put it into position that they want to. It's not actually cutting out Spoda, who is able to just have that pincer movement. One from Hall, one from Link. See, I'm kind of sad that we don't have like an underwater mechanic coming on through. We've got some very nice water designs, but unfortunately, you can't break the dome and just let loose an absolute torrential tsunami on your opponent's head, which I think would be a fitting way to try and counter a chamber.
Once per game, you can, specific location, open up a hole in there. Playing Swan. Everyone's on not great weapons, 14 flights, and Riska knows that. Get a little more done. Oh my, that's hopeful. No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Surely, Flights. Surely. Oh dear. Elfinly left, 5 HP. Unfortunately, you can't use regrowth on yourself. In comes Acre. He's hunting. He's on the hunt.
Oh, he saw the guiding light though.
Ooh. Yeah, but he only needs to hit one leg shot.
Yeah, that's very true. And Acre also has the natural cover of the Great.
The Great. The Great. It's great.
The Great. For the greater good. As we're going to be seeing now, Team Riska looking, well, 11-4. It's still not the best place for their economy, but they can play a little bit further back. They can use the null command to really take advantage of the fact that Flight's not knowing where the defense is playing, not having things like that Sova or a Cypher. Not really getting a lot of early contact either, with UP giving information on where the defense is holding, especially with these KO lineups, meaning that Riska gets a lot more information than the attacking team are surely comfortable with. They can play it further back with the null command, but no, they're actually going to pop it to cut off Flights and their approach onto the A site. A little bit early, if you ask me, because now they just have to wait and then they can move into that KO. What it has done is buy time for Riska to position themselves, one in dugout, one backside, make it a little bit harder for Flights to push through.
Yeah, that slowed them down significantly. Out goes the toxin screen. I'll start putting it down.
What's Spoda up
UP
to?
makes good use of it.
Poison's off.
Dave is waiting. The whole team waiting. They just want to. They don't want to waste time at this point. They're going back to B, but there's somebody there. It's Acre. He's waiting.
He knows. Spoda is in Plaza, has given away the information that no one from Flights has moved into mid doors, so Acre knows that you can just hold and wait, and there it is, gets one! Doesn't manage to find the second or the third, but still delays the team from getting that spike planted. And Talia is having to use the wall just to make sure that it's safe enough for them to plant behind double.
Planted.
Oh, but UP is wrapped all the way round the spawn and just played the stalwart back there. Spoda tapping away.
remaining.
Oh my god! Sorry about that one. Sorry about the slip.
He can't go for
I
it
don't
though.
know.
Showstopper's going to be in play. The second that Spoda goes for that, Flights can just pop the ult.
I want Spoda to get it at this point. Oh, there comes the showstopper. Spoda is ready. He's waiting. He's sat there. Fake it one more time. There we go. He's waiting.
Has he got
Flights
the
comes
rendezvous
round. Oh, he knows. Flights is just waiting. Moments. Oh, somehow it goes between his legs. He's waiting now. He's on low HP, but Flights is quicker. Later, bozo. Unlucky. I mean, Spoda, take a bow. Those taps were
Gorgeous.
chef's kiss.
Yeah, absolutely gorgeous. Coming on through, and that is exactly why you want something like a Viper to make sure that you don't just get one tap. all the way from Rams onto that B site. It is such an unforgiving angle. I think it's actually even worse than Sea Long Haven. Because at least for Haven, you've got that box on the site to be able to hide behind. This is just entirely open.
A gift.
Indeed. Maybe saying another 13-5.
They are so dead.
Tour de force from Spoda says so. He's sitting in Nook. He's waiting. Nobody's there. He's going to be waiting a long time.
I think they're too traumatized. They don't want to push
Yeah.
B. Not after
At
that.
this point, Plaza is a lovely place to chill out after that one. They are just chilling out. Fair enough. You know what? Take a break. Got a lot to think about. 6 rounds down. Got to
Careful here.
reconvene. Sometimes the Plaza, best place to do that.
Well, you're going to have to be fast because Spoda, seeing that no one's pushed out from club, is getting a
Getting
lot
restless.
of information and can potentially actually meet Dave if he pushes a little bit further. But it's Blackout who's actually going to get UP. And it feels like Risker are just waiting. They've entirely cleared off from the A side. They're trying to bait flights into the space. But flights are being so cautious, and they've lost their chamber. Alphen, she has one guiding light left, doesn't really want to invest it, knowing that Deck has that TP. Can try and get a little bit of information, and Blackout now with that dash ready has been able to pick out flights. As the rest of the team can't actually push onto the A site, knowing that Risker is still controlling all of these different approaches.
Dave, trying to get some work done. 11 seconds left. You need to get the spike down right now, and it's nowhere near a site. Unlucky. No, that's no. I'm not sure it's gonna work. Oh, I'm sorry, Dave. I don't think.
Last player
It'd be cool if the
standing.
Vipers fit.
One enemy
Oh.
remaining.
Okay, so
Match point.
think for a second. Just ignore the fact that you know, when you promise for a game to be a certain length amount, you know,
There.
you can't really extend it for longer, and that would be a bit, that'd be a bit sketchy in the kind of way we do things. But imagine if there was an agent with the ability to add 10 seconds onto a round with an ability.
Oh, that would be terrifying. That would have meant that that Viper's pit
Yeah,
could
exactly.
actually
I
have
was just
worked
thinking,
for team
if you throw
fights.
that Viper's pit down, suddenly you get 10 more seconds to get onto the site. That would have been.
That would have been
No,
great.
that isn't how it works. Unlucky. You now don't have a Viper's pit.
Yeah,
But
and
you know what Spoda has? The
a
new
rifle.
part of the new
That, yeah.
Valorant bundle,
Tasty.
whose name I can't remember.
Tasty, glowy pink LEDs as
Mm.
for flights. Like, they've got the Sage Wall. They can try and rush onto this corner of B, but unfortunately, they don't have that toxin screen. The Viper's been taken out. Blackout just peeks out from sight, able to find one of the blades on, gets the exact agent that they need. The Flights has to go clear out Risker to make sure that they have the space to be able to plant. They've been able to pick up 2 kills from the back of that. Blackout gonna use that Cloud Burst, making it really hard for Flights to see whether or not that jet is nice, close, and personal. This one's gonna run out, but Deck is still gonna be there with the jet to try and play off of. In fact, Blackout makes it out before the slow up is able to catch them.
Unfortunately, no knives left, so
Shadows travel.
only a classic to work with. Maybe picked up a weapon by now? Yes, there we go. Picked up a weapon.
Last player
Wait for me, I'm not far behind. I know that I can change. Remembering all of those nights beneath the window frame. Don't know why we keep going round and round in the same place. Can't decide to live my life on the ground or in outer space. Live my life on the ground or in outer space. Ground or in outer space. Wait for me, I'm not far behind. I know that I can change. Remembering all of those nights beneath the window frame. Don't know why we keep going round and round in the same place. Can't decide to live my life on the ground or in outer space. Ground or in outer space. Ground or in outer space.
Welcome back, everybody. It's time for the last game of the group stages here in our Valorant Influencer Showdown, hosted by the Goose House. Once again, we are playing this one map over and over and over and over again. Last time it was Fade. Obviously, this time we've got a new map come out. They've created a new map, and it's lovely, and it's underwater, and it's in Lisbon, and it's very cool. Here are the standings so far for the group stage. Team So Marcus and Team Yinsu currently at the top of their respective leaderboards for Group A and Group B, but we still got one game left to play. It could all change. You never know. Obviously, it's Team Yinsu versus Team Ruska that we're going to be watching next. Who knows? If Team Ruska win by a margin of more than a few rounds, actually, they will come away at the top of that leaderboard. But Team Yinsu, they've been performing incredibly well so far. But apart from that, let's just talk for a second about Team Andrew versus Team Jordis. 18-16? What?
Yep. A couple of rounds of overtime for those two teams going head to head. We unfortunately didn't get to see all of the action together. I think they literally finished up about 30 seconds before we came back.
Yeah.
So that's a long match of Valorant. Fingers crossed that we're going to see a little bit of a more close series than our as of an unbroken curse 13-5 scorelines for the first two series.
Yeah, that would be lovely, wouldn't it? I mean, look, Team Yinsu, so far, what have they got? 11-13 and 8-13. Look, they've been steadily dropping that by 3 rounds so far. So 3 rounds from 11 to 8, now 5, surely. That's how this works. That's sound logic, and I will not hear anything about how that's probably not likely at all.
How to do maths with Moggy.
Yeah, that is our favourite pastime by far. My brain is always mush, actually. It's in a constant state of mush, so I don't know why I even try. But either way, this will be an exciting game. You know what? I saw Team Yinsu's roster and I was like, that could go far. That could be interesting. And so far, they are definitely coming out well ahead. I mean, Team Somarkers currently have a better round difference, and they're well ahead of the rest of their squads. I don't think... Oh, I mean, technically... Actually, no. Nobody can beat them. They are more than 13 rounds ahead at this point, so that would be impossible. We're going to head into Agent Select for this next game once again. Who would have guessed? My god, we picked Pearl.
And who would have guessed that, yeah, Riska is going to be coming out on that KO once more. Spoda on that chamber. Whether we're going to get to see another 4K being tapped out from Rams, I cannot wait to see. Mediocre, if you lock in Yoru, I'm gonna be such a fan. I want to see Yoru on this. No, there it is. Away it goes.
That's a bit boring, isn't it?
I'm still okay with the Fade. Like, there's a lot of really cool set plays that we've seen with Fade, where you can just lob that haunt to land on those rooftops, on the A site especially. It can be really helpful with how open that site is. The haunt, remember, needs line of sight on the players, and the more open the site is, the less cover there is to hide behind, the more players are going to be tagged out by that little bit of utility.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, again, we've kind of seen all of this before. Same comp from Team Rizka. We haven't seen Team Yinsu play before, but that's a strong comp, in my opinion. I feel like that's an optimal comp, in fact. It seems like Omen is a very good controller to use here. I've liked the look of Fade so far. Chamber is a no-brainer, I feel like. Raze has made an impact, and Sage seems pretty important. So, you know what? I think they have got a winning composition, literally and figuratively. We'll see how it actually performs up against Team Rizka, who looked pretty strong last map.
Yeah, I think my one concern with this composition is that it is going to be lacking the flashes. Right, Honak is going to be there if the paranoia lands, and yeah, it is going to get that stun, but it's not something like the breach with the fault line or the flashpoints with the walls. It's especially not the KO, who we've seen just being able to do so much with all of these corners. It's perfect for those flash drives to just get hucked out, and then that null command being used to either clear up sites when you're attacking or being able to pop it and go for that retake super easily. It's definitely something that Riska has been able to turn into that bread and butter. More importantly, at the moment, though, we have Team Yinsu on the defense, and it's a Sage who's going to be not holding hook, but just using that slow orb to connect with ramps and setting up the headhunter. Flares with that little bit of slow on Blackout, able to land the hit.
That's how you open things up on that chamber. Make an impact immediately with the headhunter. Got the job done. Now, can you build off that to win the round? Obviously, you have to play at the attacker's pace, so I'm going to change things up. They've spread across the map, 2 players over towards A. But apart from that, they have options open so far, and Rizka has taken the other option. There are 2 options, and went for B. B was the other one. Beautiful. Opening kill. Onto Yinsu. A little bit more need to be done, though, because there's a lot of space that is completely open behind him, and the rest of the team has a long way to go. Flares gets some more work done with the headhunter, and is looking to build on that, but Deck has cleared his post, and Honak has taken him down.
But Twiggy, despite getting those kills to open up that B site, Spoda is actually only now making it into club with that spike. The initial plan, I'm sure, was to push on to A, but not being able to get out from main safely and seeing that you'd got a couple of picks, especially that Sage, no slow orb or wall, gonna be slowing down your approach up from main, is gonna be able to plant behind double. But now you have to watch out for Honak crossing through from Link, and the chamber, more importantly, has been able to hold on to tower. Spoda pushed all the way back into hall. Could potentially be pincered in if Acre isn't able to set them up once they go for that nip.
Acre. Oh! A little collateral to open things up, but not much more than that. Unfortunately, with the classic, a collateral is not guaranteed to kill. And in fact, it went just the idea of it, it went through one person's head and into the other person's head, and it did not kill the person who was closer.
Yeah,
Lovely.
it's really unfortunate for Riska that despite having that little bit of pick-a-pad on that B site, they just get that spike down very late on, so Spoda only has time to get the spike planted, then pull back into hall, and unfortunately your Sky, who you are wanting to set up a crossfire with, does not actually have the space to safely cross either into hall or hold a little bit further afield. As Yinsu's team just able to take control of tower and link a little bit faster than Riska were hoping for, is now that's going to be a suppression onto Honak. The Omen not going to be able to try and push aggressively out from mid, and you can see Riska being very happy to be able to take plaza control for just a simple 0 point.
Absolutely. I would be happy. Anyone would be happy. Anyone would be happy to play this lovely new map as well. It's a beautiful map. I've said it before. It's lovely. Hey, luckily, here in, that's not Plaza, but there's no flights hanging about at the top of the wall. Nothing to worry about as you move in, apart from Mediocre, who's waiting around the corner and, hold on a second. There's no flasher on the Team Yinsu. How did that one happen?
Spike planted.
Oh, that's a gorgeous nightfall. Mediocre, able to track where Acre is gonna be. Riska is still able to find the Omen though. And Spike has gone down as Yinsu's team just mobilizing their forces to be able to converge on these two players. Just the one now. Spoda holding with the Headhunter. Spike gonna be out in the open. Mediocre has to push up with the Spectre, is able to chase the chamber away, and the defuse can come on through. Nice and safe.
Nice and safe. And yeah, Team Yinsu looking strong so far. I mean, look, we didn't see a lot of defensive rounds in our first match we watched. So the fact that we're seeing this many here from Team Yinsu starting off, pretty convincing so far. Only 3 kills in 2 rounds from Team Riska. And I mean, hey, things are going well. I love this music.
Mm-hmm. It really is very relaxing.
Yeah.
But I mean, for
a little
Riska,
bit of Iberian folk.
for Riska, there's a little stuffed toy too,
Oh, it's a Tacti bear.
hidden in the crates. I'm still waiting for those to be merchandised.
Oh yeah, they must be. At some point. Riot, please.
I will buy them
help.
out. The entire stock.
Give
All
me,
of them.
give me a bear.
For Riska, they have to be able to convert this round though. They're on a full buy, not of tactibeds, but of rifles. And Yinsu are still sitting on that bonus as Honak flashed out. Not going to be able to find the pick. She will go down. Flares has to move up aggressively into mid doors to try and keep Spoda away. And they're going to have very tight plaza control.
Turns out, despite the distinct lack of tactibers, the band seems to do a pretty good job of killing people. So, you know, that works. It's a good start from Team Riska. Only 2 players left. Mediocre all the way in round the back, but now they're aware of that positioning, and this is one of the few wall-bangable spots in the map. Unlucky. Yeah, kind of trapped there. Yinsu looking for a heal. There we go. Gotta jump. Gotta get around the corner.
Player standing.
I think they heard that though, and they know Yinsu is right around the corner. And Riska slapped back with quite a nice buy round. Lovely.
Yeah. Oh, can you imagine though if like instead of shooting people, you could just throw tactibers at them?
Catch this!
Do you know, that would be an amazing crossover if you did a tactibear and a Tibbers crossover with League of Legends and Valorant.
Oh, okay. I like that. Oh yeah, okay, yes. I don't really play League, so I didn't know what you're talking about for a second, but I remember now.
Yeah, just have it when like you shoot one of those bears, it just changes into this absolute giant grizzly. As Risko is using my absolute favorite lineup in this entire map to try and get a little bit of information. 0 point, not going to be able to find much of anything from Art that early on though.
Neck is waiting here. Oh no, that does disappear. Blackout. Blackout gets his teammate killed and then gets the trade. It's all planned. Oh, mediocre. Tapping heads for breakfast. Riska able to get that flash out and get the kill in the end, but Spoda quick on the trigger as well. Taking out Yinsu, making it a 2v2, and the spike is in an awkward place, but nobody's watching it, Riska. You could just walk right up there and grab it.
The thing is, he doesn't know that. And look at all of this that's being invested. We can see. We're the gods, Twiggy. Just looking at the models on this mini-map, using all of this utility that they don't actually need to use, and in fact it's bought players the time to be able to come in with that tour de force and
You're not omnipotent.
cut them off from the A side. As Riska might just be forced over towards B, but Flares is going to be pushing out. Uses the knife to get a little bit faster. Might not be expecting the contact, but oh no! Riska! They go for the one behind the other, and it's a conga line into the next round.
He pulled out his knife. Oh, Riska. You were supposed to be protecting Spoda and you didn't. Oh dear. Oh dear. It's all gone wrong. There's a big boy in there. That's a big boy. That's a big boy. Well, there you go. Plaza. That's why Plaza's so great. It's being watched over not only by Orb, but also big Tactibear. No Tactibear in the
No
Orb.
Tactibear inside the Orb.
It would have been cool. It would have been cool. And it would roll out every now and then. It's like the city's defense mechanism is Tactibear inside Orb.
Like a little jack in the box.
Yeah. You know those like a Zorb kind of thing, but
oh my god,
you can
yes.
control it. Yeah.
Do you know what? Forget just like
that.
breaking the dome and having that water. Just be able to tap the orb and send it on its merry way, crushing everyone in its path.
I've got your trail.
I love that idea. That should be an alt. Riot, you can hire me whenever you want to give you ideas for agents. I'm right here, free every day.
Are you stealing my ideas there, Twiggy?
Yep. Hey, I was the one who came up with the Zorb.
Joint effort. That's what we call it. Joint effort.
Yeah. Hire Moggy. That way.
Oh,
Nice
hello!
haunt lineup. I
That's
like
a
that.
gorgeous haunt lineup. I mean, it is destroyed, but the Terror Trail is still going to be able to come on through in time. Riska is going to be caught out in Link. Luckily, he has that Sage Wall to be able to hide behind for a little bit.
Last player standing.
Yoga farming, but not much left to do. One more. Ah, not quite. Riska gets 3, and they're making it a close game.
Yeah, write that down though. Fade mains. That is an absolute beautiful lineup
Let's see some clippers there.
coming on through. And it is going to be a little bit of a rougher buy for Yinsu's team. The full eco. But you do still have to worry about things like not only the Nightfall, but that headhunter too. Riska, once again, gonna be having this 0 point lineup. He loves this one. This is what we've been seeing every single round from the attacking K, and it does give you a lot of information on whether or not you're going to be pushed aggressively from mid and plazas where you have to fight, or whether or not it's worth using that null command and just pushing up.
Blackout takes the full force of 5 frenzies in his face. Well, not 5 frenzies, but 5 small weapons.
Enough frenzies. Enough frenzies for them to count.
There was at least one, and that is enough. Bye-bye, Riska. It's always so sad. The animation for him dying off the back of being nut downed is incredibly sad. It's so dramatic. He flies up into the air, he spreads his arms out.
But it was for the greater good.
Was it?
Yeah, because the spike is now planted over on that B site.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Sacrifice himself. Oh no, in with the frenzy. Spike is just in no man's land. Deck, watch it. Not letting that happen. Oh, Spoda got caught out by the haunt there. He should find his head in the end. Acre just trying to keep him back with the guiding lights. That will do the work. I don't think there's anywhere they can go right now. Finally, it's 1 kill as well. But in the end, it's going to be 3 players surviving this round. But only one team gets away with the round.
Yeah, that B side, it's such a pain for that defense to be able to retake, especially if you have all of the time, since you have to just rotate all the way from the A side over towards the B. It means that you don't have control of Link, and if the spike is out in the open like that, you better hope that you have Initiator to be able to get yourself safely onto that side, as Flares now is going to be going for the crutch play that we've seen all of the defenders do in that last series. I'm going to be buying up into the operator. It's a gamble, though, Twiggy, considering the state of their economy right now. I mean, if it pays off, it's going to be great. But the thing is, it's not anchoring B. It is actually going to be peeking out of Plaza, and the suppression is there, so you can't actually rendezvous out until that suppression is gone. And Blackout knows is able to use that Trailblazer to set up and chase the chamber.
Flares, like Icarus, flew too close to the sun.
I'll find you.
Mediocre. Just trying to do a little work here in lack of flares.
Oh, the thing is, Aether can't even take advantage of the fact that the C's missed because the Terror Trail has hooked that Sky's ankle and is giving the position away, so Mediocre knows that you can still hold that because the players are still pushing their way over towards the A.
Acre will get the spike down on A,
Spike planted.
and with 2 players remaining, Team Yinsu have a pretty monumentous task in this one. And, well, where are they going to come from? Spawn?
Are they going to come from, or is it just
are
gonna
they
be a
going
save?
to? I think it may be a save.
Oh!
No, they changed their mind. Out they come.
Nah, exit frags.
Exits, yeah. They're getting very close. Mighty close. Exits. Oh dear, Deck. He's been hopeful all day with those teleports, and that one didn't quite pay off. What a shame.
Mediocre is so low.
Standing.
Can't quite find one. Blackout will take away 4 kills from that. Get himself a Blade Storm, and the 4th round on the board. Lovely.
Yeah, but it's still such a gamble. What I would honestly have done was I would have gone for the save and grabbed the AWP that Flares had left. Because that was, like, they spent so much and then it found absolutely nothing because that 0 point came through. And that was why I was a little bit cautious of the chamber holding in AWP, because that's what we'd seen Riska round after round after round set up with the 0 points, so the suppression would have landed on the chamber and stopped that rendezvous escape tool from activating. This time around, the chamber is actually going to be anchoring over B screens, as Riska, knowing the deficit that their defense is on, can't afford to take these distance fights, as Yinsu are trying to just chip away their health with utilities to be able to open them up and maybe connect some of these sprays.
A lot of space, but not much more than that so far. Team Riska trying to fight their way out of Plaza. Josie is going to be flashed up by the guiding light. Just waiting there. Pseudo one-way smoke, I would say. Not quite useful, but it's hopeful. They're going to make their way forward now. Where do you want to go? B or A? Choices. Horn holds off A. Seems like that's their cue to head B. Flares. Quicker with the headshot though. And will keep away the opening player. The rest of the team quite far away.
On rendezvous out to B hole as well. It's going to give the position away with that shoulder peek. But still, it's going to force a lot of utility to try and cut that side off. And now you can just nip back into the second exit. Play bodyguard in that. Managed to pick Deck off. Still hold control. Honak can provide a crossfire coming out from Link. Now it's going to be Blackout and Riska left. Riska so low, still able to find one, but Halls is still making it so hard. They've got the spike in control, but they don't have the space, and with 13 seconds left, they're going to have to get these kills or get that spike in the ground.
1 enemy remaining. Spike down.
One left, and Riska doesn't have a head anymore. 4-4. We're keeping it neck and neck so far, and I mean, not only round count, but economically as well. Things are tough for both teams at the moment.
Yeah, I think for sure it's affecting Yinsu's team a little bit more, because, I mean, we have seen that operator play attempt to come out from this defense. The problem is, with it being so close in terms of economy, both of these teams being literally 1 full round loss away from a full eco, no one really wants to gamble on the AWP.
Well, we'll gamble this time on the Blade Storm. Blackout been effective with them so far. Scored out a lot of kills for the team. Outmove Team Rizka, trying to make their way through Plaza very quickly this time. Making a lot of space. There's Blackout. He'll use up all of his knives in one shot. Does get the kill though. Honak spraying him down, finds 2, but Deck is able to trade. Josie pushes into Plaza, finds 1 more kill. Can back out now. They have 2 ults available. They can just wait and try and retake whatever site they go for, because once they leave that space, hey, there's a couple corpses on the ground. Let's res them. Or not.
Oh, Spoda's gonna have their spot though. In fact, they're not actually going to go for ramp control. They're gonna push all the way up into club and just hide. They know that Yinsu are gonna have to go that way. There's one. Rendezvous out, so you can't even look for the trade. Yinsu will be able to res, but so Spoda now. Gonna be holding on ramps firmly. Has a little bit of cover. It's gonna be able to peek out. Finds one. Doesn't pick up the second. Yinsu now gonna be able to grab Spectre into Vandal. Start to push forward.
Not a lot of time left on the board. And that's just showing off. He knows that Yinsu can't get on that in time. Deck playing with his food, finishes it off. Smart from Yinsu getting all the way through. Took out the rendezvous before the play could be made. So managed to get a free kill pretty much on Flares. Oh no, Flares, sorry. Took a shot. Spoda was the one who couldn't get away because Yinsu broke that rendezvous, but in the end, yeah, the firepower was not quite enough to stop Deck from, I mean, using his ult, playing with his foot, just sitting around there and waiting, honestly.
Yeah, and there's the eco that we talked about. We knew that both of these teams were a hair's breadth away from being forced onto that eco. Flares at least does have that tour de force to use, but this time, Risk are actually going to be using the fragment, the flash drive rather, in through those holes in the wall. Honak just entirely collapsed upon. Nothing you can really do. That's turn away from the flash drive and then straight into the Trailblazer.
Yinsu waiting. Oh, finds a headshot, but I feel like a headshot from a Vandal is a little more effective. Headshot from a Sheriff, just as effective. Lovely. Thank you for showing that off, Mediocre. We're doing a little Valorant tutorial now. The damage values of each weapon. There's a tour de force. That does a lot of damage. In fact, joint most damage of any big old weapon. Josie with the showstopper. That does a lot of damage too. Spoda now the last remaining member. Can't keep him away. 1 headshot, 2 headshots. He can move in, spray through the boxes. Not sprayable. You can't wallbang that. Unfortunate. Not enough time. And wow, I mean, we're showing off everything today. That spot isn't wallbangable. You can plant there for free if you have that position.
Yeah, and unfortunately as well, you have to crouch to get past the water side fountain. And that's exactly why that jet goes down to the tour de force. Oh man, neck and neck, 5-5. Both of these teams so very close. Tour de force this time now gonna be up online for Spoda. Hence the classic still showing up in that chamber's utility.
Let's play.
Yes, I want to play. Chamber on the lookout now. Another tour de force is out there. But Josie doesn't need a tour de force to get a kill. Straight headshot onto Rizka. Oh man, the rest of Team Rizka is all the way backed up. They could not get anywhere so far. Josie is just holding down this area. You can see everyone a little scared to push in through that, knowing that now they have all that position and Mediocre has already taken up post in Plaza. He's actually looking aggressive, takes out Aiko with the guiding light in hand. Deck is going to be able to get the trade and grab that spike back, but damage already done.
Yeah, Plaza has some really punishing deep angles. And if you just smoke off that main entrance from mid-top, it gets dicey for the attacking team to be able to get information on just how close those defenders are, especially now that spike carrier going down. Blackout has to retrace their steps, is able to spot out Yusefka. Now it is just the Sage and the Omen. Yinsu pushed all the way into mid doors, is going to be able to pick out Spoda. Brad sees the jet. Doesn't quite manage to land the kill shot, but can just pull back, heal up, and wait. Hey, there it is. Yinsu gonna be able to take Blackout out of the way. Goes for a little bit of tactical crouching too. Yeah.
Last round before the switch.
Wow. There's some bad blood in these games. I feel like we've seen more BM than I've seen in...
I feel like that was
A year of
revenge for
competitive
Deck using the ult to flex.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Yeah. Even that, come on, misguided, surely. You killed Blackout earlier, go get him. Or I mean, you killed Deck earlier, sorry. Go get him. Go get him.
This is not a good buy for Ariska. It is at least the last side in the half, which is why Insa's team have invested into the operator. No money gonna be carried on through her. And it's anchoring towards the B as well.
Another ult. Another day, another ult. Another round. Blackout has his Blade Storm. But they're not really challenging anything yet. They're heading back to spawn, in fact, which has allowed Team Yinsu to take up some pretty aggressive spots here. Josie, in particular, right round the corner here, takes the head off Rizka. For a second. Deck right round the corner. Does manage to find the spray down into the torso. Going to back all the way out with the Satchels. Lovely acrobatics to get out of there. Yinsu, in the meantime, has taken down the chamber of Spoda. There's only 2 players left on Team Rizka. 50 seconds left in the round. Luckily, they still have that Blade Storm, but that's all of the knives used, I'm pretty sure.
One enemy remaining.
Oh, that's... You know what? It would have made a pretty good clip. I respect it.
Switching
Yeah,
sides.
I mean, it really does feel like there's just no cover when you try and push mid doors without something like an initiator trying to set it up. They try and play off of the Seekers, but unfortunately that doesn't provide enough time for Blackout to be able to get the updraft and then the pick onto Honak, and we are going to see the side swap come through. And Twiggy, there is very much potential that we get to see how a curse rears head again, as the scoreline is currently 7-5. Riska will at least have the double initiator set up, both the KO and the Sky, to go aggressive if they want to, and enable it, as Yinsu's team apparently don't want to go anywhere near mid, don't want to go anywhere near restaurant, knowing that they could get zero-pointed and fragmented through those gaps in art, are instead just gonna Defil comp right down all of B main.
Well, it seems pretty likely the latter. Flares finds a pick with a headshot. Headshot with a headhunter. Shot with the hunter shot. And now Aker is making a little work. It pushes in. Riska is the one who manages to get the pick, but there's Flares with the headhunter once again. Spoda and Aker just round the corner, and they have to break a wall to get in towards that spike, and then they've got the firing squad of Team Yinsu waiting for them at the other end of this one. They are more of an attacking team. A little fake onto the spike, and Flares is going to push in. Heard the second one. There's nobody there. Aker's waiting. Deck finds one as well onto Yinsu. It's Mediocre who has to clean things up for the team. But Honak is the one who gets most of the kills with that frenzy. I know you love to see that.
Yep, dark cover for Riska's team runs out. At unfortunately the worst possible moment. And Honak gets an eagle-eyed view on those 2 agents left. As having won the pistols, we are now going to be seeing Yinsu's team trading up into those SMGs. And now if they want to, they really do have the pick of the map on where they want to hit. They've got the SMGs, so if they do want to hit that distance fight, then they can push B, but they don't really want to run into that chamber with the headhunter potentially over that from Hall. And there's just going to be a short and sweet sprint over restaurant into A main, onto A site, but Riska, with that 0 point, is going to have all of the information on where they're playing from.
Flares just jumps on in. Oh, and here's Dozy. All the way up with the Spectre. Riska manages to find the headshot, but there's the post-mortem kill from the Boombot.
planted.
Lovely. Aker manages not to make that athletic jump. It was quite high, to be fair. I think this guy just doesn't hidden leg day too often.
Good mediocre
Remaining.
is what you have to worry about right now.
Yeah, wow. Team Yinsu take the second round in the half, and 13-5, it's on the card.
You can really see for Yinsu's team, it is just about getting onto these sites fast, getting that stage wall set up, and the spike down. It very much does feel like Icebox attacks. And for Riska's team, this time they will have the weaponry to be able to try and shut them out before they get onto that site. It was a little bit preemptive, trying to hold with those pistols a little bit closer into the back of the site, but I think they want to just get as much picks as they possibly couldn't bait out the utility. So that they didn't have to worry about those paint shells tapping away. Horn, not going to fight. Oh, there we go. It does manage to actually pick out Acre, who is now forced to pull a little bit further away from Plaza than this guy wants, and use a guiding light to make sure that no one tries to follow.
Blackout. Both get kills on the board. Mediocre makes no qualms out of finding the head of Acre with the Sheriff there. Making it a 3v4. Still, that wall is going to make it a little more difficult to get onto site than Team Risk want, as they tap it for the first time. Although Team Yinsu have to push out of the dark cover to get that kill. Oh, uh-oh. Blackout's already pushed all the way in. It's Flares who has to do a lot of work, and he spins round in a 180. GG Mediocre getting 2, making it a 1v1, and there's no cover to work with whatsoever for the final player of Team Riska. The Horn is going to give away his location perfectly. Half is done. Mediocre turns back around the corner. 4K. 10th round on the board.
Yeah, if there's one bit of utility that you want as a fade in the 1 versus 1 that isn't seized, it's Haunt.
Oh yeah.
It gives you all of the information on where that player is and when you want to peek out preemptively pre-firing. As Yinsu's team is going to be the first to hit double digits, as once again, their strategy really is just poke and pressure a little bit either towards A or Plaza, but always just try and book at B and get that stage wall planted. This time around it is going to be, it seems, another sniff towards the A site. But once more, they don't go for a lot of very aggressive mid-plaza control. They really are more satisfied to let Ruska's team just use a lot of utility and put a lot of noise towards that space, but never properly commit to it. And this time around, Ruska's team are anticipating it. But now they're going to be walking right into the nightfall as Zafka able to just use that double satchel pack, get themselves into a bunker.
Lovely kill as well. And get the spike down, second one. Push all the way in it. Spoda sees the head of Mediocre but can't quite capitalize off that. Deck, however, does. But it is a 1v4 now. Still a lot of work to do. And as we learned with that wall there, it makes it quite difficult to get in towards site. You have to wrap all the way around that mid box. All the way through. And, well... even the strongest of minds may be thinking, I want to save this Bucky at this point.
Oh, Deck's going for it with the Sheriff.
Oh yeah, that's one, that's two. Hello. Big work. That's not a Phantom. Didn't quite make the.
He heard
leap to
you.
the Phantom.
He was like, "I'm gonna save the Bucky."
Yeah. No, sometimes just I love that Bucky.
I mean, especially Omens, you know, they're very partial to their shotguns. Hide in the smoke with a shotgun, pop out.
Yeah, of course.
But Twiggy, there is a very real potential that our curse of 13-5 is going to continue, because this is the round that Riska, they're gambling. This is literally them spending, forcing as much cash as they possibly can out of their credit cards. As Spoda has bought into the Operator, is going to have to go toe-to-toe with the Tour de Force coming out from Yin. So the Prowler actually going to try and bait out that first opening shot, but he doesn't fall for it. Flair's still able to be faster on the trigger though. And that slow AoE circle means that Acre has to just fall back into Hall and use these guiding lights to try and buy the rest of the team the time to stop that spike from going on down.
It's that premium French weaponry. It's got a slick trigger. Cap. Riska though. He's also got a slick trigger. Oh, but no! There it is, Flares. As I said, French weaponry. It's just, it's built different. It's Bill Dippily, and it's just getting kills for breakfast.
What it doesn't have though is sight, as they can't really push into this. And it is going to be, there it is, Deck using the Omen ult to get towards the A, anticipating that maybe Yinsu's team would wrap around, but now without that Omen, without that crossfire set up, just Acre on 26 HP and marked with only one guiding light, they know Yinsu's team, they can put a little bit of pressure in and still get that spike.
As with the 4K, one player left to find for that ace, but Mediocre is the one holding down this area. Although Flares will turn around the corner at just the right time, find the ace, pick away that match point round, and Team Yinsu, they're on the edge of a 13-5. Not quite 13, but nice spray anyway.
Yeah, it's honestly gorgeous. Just using the Sankyu, seeing that Deck has TP'd out, anticipating him to have moved over towards the A side to try and cut them off, so that they run out of time to get the spike planted, knowing that this guy is alone, that they have far better numbers and the utility to just keep this guy away. And that, unfortunately for Skies in 1 versus 3s, it takes time to use your utility, and normally you need something like a jet or a race to be able to move forward once the guiding light lands. Because by the time you peek out, the effect is usually wrapped up. As we might see this series wrapping up, it is match point for Yinsu's team. This Blade Storm is going to have to be absolutely massive from Riska's team.
Bring them down.
First off, it's the Plaza battle. Riska wins out the first, giving his team a little bit of breathing room as the attackers of Team Yinsu stage a little bit of a push, although Aika has figured out, or not, actually no, not Aika, sorry. Uh-oh, oh no! The boombot, it saw him earlier! Aika, get back around that corner. Riska finds 3 now. Flares is the one to cut off the blood for her. Cut off the rotting arm, as it were. Don't want any of that gangrene. Honak holding down Aika here. Just trying to make sure he doesn't push too far, obviously, when you're playing against a Sky. Lots of utility that can... oh my. Oh my. Oh no! Spoda didn't see Honak, but Honak definitely saw Spoda.
Oh, and there goes the
Spike is
spike. And now
Oh.
Honak can just pull back
It's the curse.
and
It's the
sit
curse.
with those 2 dark covers. Blackout does have the Blade Storm. Aika's only 21 HP, but they have no idea where these 2 players are going to be pushing from. The fact that both of them are actually going to be sitting in main, they're able to take flares out of the way. Honak's going to try and, take out Aika. Only 21 HP! But Blackout, with the Blade Storm, able to find the pick, and the curse is broken, Twiggy! We're going past 13-5!
It's happened. It's happened. Oh man. Well, now the curse is broken. Surely, let's go 20. Let's go all the way. let's have a 6 overtime game. I'm down. I've got all night. Let's do it.
For Riska, though, they've been able to recover 1 round. Their economy is still not in the clear. There's still a bulldog coming out from Aika. Spoda has the tour de force, so frankly doesn't need to buy up into a rifle, but it's nowhere near the economy that Yinsu's team are sitting on with this operator play going to be coming on through. You have to be so wary of where Flares is going to be popping out from. And Flares is just going to be putting a little bit of attention towards A, as that's a very early showstopper, going to connect right onto Deck, who does not have the time to be able to TP on out of there. And with that damage done, the paranoia now removed, if Yinsu wants to move in fast onto that A site, only the KO really in that path.
Wow. It's a perfectly timed Prowler to completely block most of the shots that were about to land on Josie. And may have saved their life. Who knows? We'll never know. But I like that narrative. Let's go with it. At least Riska now has... Well, sorry, Team Yinsu has control of Plaza. Not for very long. Riska will take their head off mediocre. They can make a little movement happen. Oh, it's a lovely flick. Taking off the head of Aika now. They can, they have their pick of the litter, really. Where do you want to go? They haven't committed anywhere yet.
Seems like it's going to be A, especially with Yinsu potentially getting that pick onto Blackout, but Blackout are going to be able to take that Sage away. So no wall to
30
really
seconds
safety guard that spike from going on through. However, Blackout pushing a little bit too aggressively forward, wanting to see whether or not with only 20 seconds left, the rest of Team Yinsu will be following up to give Spoda the information on where to stand with that tour de force. Dev has been taken out. Riska gonna be able to take out Yosafka. Gonna be able to immediately just neutralize everyone on the Yinsu team down to just the flares. He's suppressed.
Oh my.
You can't use the tour de force if you're suppressed. Fragment's gonna bounce.
Oh, what a
Flares
fragment.
just can't run away. Riska with the diffuse and the absolute MVP play on the KO.
He's got those. It's not even lineups. That's just pure mathematical genius. He knows the angles. He knows. He's a basketball player. Bounce out off the.
It's the
back of the hoop.
equations. You know the GIF where you're just seeing equations.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's Riska's
beautiful.
KO play in an absolute nutshell, and this is where it gets a little bit scary for Yinsu's team, because they can still mostly buy into this round. But going for that operator in the last match now means that if you lose this round, you're going to be back onto that eco, and suddenly Riska's team, with that defense, the fact that you can hold really deep into these sites, it's getting a little bit scarier. As Yinsu's team going to be using that siege to clear hook, and then moving into the rest of B side. But Spoda holding into tower this time around, forcing a lot of utility very early on out from Yinsu's team. Terrachel's picked out one though. I think that's Acre, who's actually sitting deep on site.
Well, in move the team, Mediocre getting that spike down, and the rest of the team doing a lot of damage.
You will
Team
not
Riska
kill my
down to
ally.
3 members now, and that make that 2, make that none. Okay, I didn't have any time to think about that one. But yeah, Team Yinsu take away their 3rd game of the group stage, and I mean that'll be a flawless record. They're definitely going to be in our finals. What a performance! It wasn't quite a 13-5. You know what? We've seen better today, but it was a genuinely well formulated performance, especially against a team like Team Riska, who definitely have that quality when it comes to just the plays they come out with. Obviously, Riska themselves getting kills across the board. We saw how amazing they are with the fragment, but the rest of the team obviously is so talented that it was impressive that Team Yinsu could come through and just Mediocre getting so many plays done. The tour de force of flares, the raise from Yosi, I mean everything was pretty much perfect. They lost a few rounds, but definitely their attacking half was impressive.
Yeah, Mediocre definitely impressed, right? Being able to use that Fade utility, things like the Seas and the Horns, to be able to clear those really punishing angles, especially deep on those sites. The fact that in the last round with that Haunt coming on through, yes, they're not able to pick out Spoda with that line of sight, not coming into tower, but still being able to pick out Acre, knowing that this guy is there, being able to press in, deny the crossfire. That Riska's team are really relying on being able to hold onto that B site a little bit longer, so that their players in mid and the A site can rotate in faster and catch Yinsu's team out, which was something that Yinsu's team were taking massive advantages of, right? Very early on in their attacking rounds, it was just sprint onto the site, sage wall up, spike down, job done. And those early rounds, just getting to win that many points in a row and cement their economy, meant that they just had a far easier time of putting the rounds back to back.
Let's take a look at the scoreboard before we head to a break here, and we can just quickly check on who is going to be in that finals. No, we're not ready for that. Okay, 30 seconds. Let's fill. We've got some time to talk about. What are we going to talk about? Hey, what have we seen so far? What has been great? Omen has been great. I've loved seeing Omen. Dark Cover's obviously incredibly useful. Being able to teleport everywhere has been massive for information gathering, getting away from everything. Perfect. I did my job. Let's see if we can take a look at these scoreboards now. There it is. Team So Marcus perfectly on the drop, and Team Yinsu are going to be up in the finals against each other. Commiserations to everybody else, but it was well fought from every single team. No embarrassing round differences whatsoever, actually. So yeah, I'm impressed. I'm impressed with everybody's ability to pick up this map so quickly. I could not. I could never.
Do you know what I'm looking forward to, Twiggy? I'm really looking forward to seeing whether or not So Marcus is going to be coming out on that Reyna once more. Because if Yinsu's team, if Mediocre keeps running that fade and we keep seeing those very early seizes to clear those very punishing corners that So Marcus' Reyna did really love taking advantage of early on in those defensive rounds, I think we're in for an absolute matchup between those two players.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm excited. These are two brilliant teams. Obviously, Team So Marcus, we've seen their quality. Team Yinsu, we have now seen exactly how effective they can be. We're going to head to a quick break while we get the final set up, because I cannot... I can imagine this is going to be a pretty intense one. It may just go more than 13-7. I know it's out of the ordinary. It's insane, but we'll see. We'll head to a quick break. We'll see you all in a little bit. Get yourself a drink, get yourself some popcorn, something like that, get a snack, and join us for the finals in just a little bit. Don't go anywhere.
My name is Tina, and I'm a part of the Goose House community.
My name's Ross. I am a junior events manager for the Goose House.
Being a part of the Goose House community has actually helped me to improve my language skills because I'm surrounded by people who are English speakers only.
Since joining the Goose House, I became a lot more social. I became more open with how I am as a person. Before, when I joined, I was like really down, obviously with COVID and stuff like that. And then I joined, and everyone asked me how I was every day. They'd speak to me, and my worst points, I'd always had someone there to back me and speak to me. I'd never attended a LAN event, and the most recent LAN event was in October, November for Epic LAN, and they encouraged me to go, and it was the best thing I've ever done in a long time.
For advice for people that are seeking for any gaming community, I would actually recommend just not being shy. You know, turn your mic on, don't be scared of being judged, that people are going to judge you because of your accent. Just don't be scared, because people, like, especially the Goose House, it's a very open community. No one's going to judge you.
The main bit of advice I can give is don't be afraid to go out of your own comfort zone to meet new people. Sometimes, like, going out of that comfort zone, you can meet the most amazing people in the world. Like, some of the people I've met are, like, now my best friends.
Throughout those few months that I've been a part of the Goose House, I've met such a big amount of great people that I'm so thankful for. The admins, Dan, Meg, Casso, Sly, there are so many more people, but the whole admin crew is so nice, so helpful, and I'm so thankful for them for just making me feel very safe.
Just the main admins in general, like, a lot of them backed me and supported me into getting to where I am today. And honestly, I've had like the most support in the community that I've ever had, and it felt nice. Like, I've never really had that support for my second family.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the Valorant Influencer Showdown hosted by the Goose House. It's time for our grand finals. We've been playing a group stage this whole day and our best two teams have come out on top of those groups. It is going to be Team Yinsu versus Team SoMarcus, who have both impressed us today. I want to see what they're going to come out with on this last thing. We've seen some counter-striking going on. We think we may be seeing some counter-striking going on, but it looks like SoMarcus' team, they are unfazed by it. They're picking the same stuff as always. They're going to be playing the same stuff as last time. They're walking right into the trap, and they're saying, come on then. All right, go on.
Yeah, Yinsu's team are properly going for this. They've been watching back VODs to see how exactly SoMarcus' team have been behaving. And looking Reyna was definitely one of the takeaways from the defenders' strategy. And SoMarcus once again going to be locking in the Reyna as the duelist. It's definitely going to be something that you're going to have to keep your eye on, especially if they get so many rounds in a row back to back that they're able to buy up into the operate. The problem with this composition is they're not running the chamber and they're not running the jet. So every single round, even when it's a full eco, they are going to have to buy up into weapons, which does make it a little bit harder to be able to afford the operator as often. Yinsu's team, on the other hand, we are not seeing any full lock-ins at the moment.
Choose
It
your
seems to be
agent.
a little bit of indecision coming up from the attacking composition.
Well, maybe they're just, taking all the time they can get. No, here we go. In come the lock-ins. And yeah, I mean, this is similar to what we saw last time, so I'm not expecting to see anything too different strategically. But yeah, no, these two comps should clash quite nicely. I feel like it's essentially just, okay, Chamber or Reyna, which is a comfort pick for SoMarcus. Reyna is just the agent that he is incredibly good at. Flares obviously feels more comfortable on the Chamber, which is understandable considering the amount of sight lines and anchor positions that you can hold as a Chamber. Getting that tour de force out, getting those nice... We've seen collaterals already. We've seen a lot go on, especially over at B long. That hook area is an incredibly powerful position for an anchor to sit, so we'll see exactly how they utilize that chamber here in the grand finals. Again, best of one. Whoever takes the most rounds wins.
I like this from SoMarcus, actually. SoMarcus not actually going to be operating from hook at the beginning of this round, is instead going to be aiming for a little bit of control through mid on a art. So if Yinsu's team does try and use that fade to preemptively seize hook and then operates with either the paint shells or slow orbs to try and pick out that Rena's position, the Omen can attempt to TP out and away to safety.
Here we go. The first attack of Team Yinsu's grand final strategy. I think it'll be heading straight up B main. Straight past hook, straight onto the site. It's going to work out for them so far. Again, all the way through unscathed. It's now whether they can get that wall down, get the spike on the ground. It's going to make all the difference. But Nami is holding them back for now, along with the support of Marcus. And, well, I guess that's enough to intimidate them. Oh, Yinsu is staying. Oh, Yinsu is staying. A pistol round strategic. Uh-oh. Oh, wait, I thought somehow a defender had wrapped all the way around. It was just some support from Mediocre, I was going to say.
Oh no! They have actually been able to position themselves
they
in
have,
mid-top, so they're getting a lot of information, which is why SoMarcus' team aren't actually deviating from the B site. They are now pushing back into that space. Because for Yinsu's team, that is where that Sage Wall finds its benefit. SoMarcus is going to be forced away from Hall. Not going to be able to contest at the moment with that slow up coming on through. It's Nami now who has to try and push forward and break that block before the spike goes down. But there's the plant that Yinsu was wanting and is able to make it out safely at least for a couple of moments.
They can back up just a little bit, but there is not a lot of space to work with. And look how much they need to push up to stop that spike from being diffused. LSC just round the corner, holding it down. Nobody can get anywhere near. Noodle, make things worse. Gets a collat onto Mediocre and Yosi, and just, well, there you go. First round in the favor of Team SoMarcus via a plant that was a little too far around the corner.
Yeah, for Yinsu's team, they really had to try and get as much away from Hall Crossfire as they possibly could, which is why it was a little bit more out in the open than I'm sure they were hoping for. As now it is going to be Honak, the only one who's going to be opting in for that frenzy. So Max's team now rocking those SMGs. If they want to try and brute force their way into mid, they absolutely have the weaponry to be able to do just that. as it is the pincer movement, both from mid doors and A art. And so Marcus is going to be able to find 2.
I don't want any of that. Get the hell out of there. Meanwhile, so Marcus is actually on the wrap, waiting. Wrap of the day is bullets.
There.
Miss away.
Remaining.
Get another one. Oh my god. Ace hunting, yeah.
Yeah.
Is everybody backing up to get the... oh no, LSD gets in there. LSD isn't letting that one happen.
I was going to say everyone but LSD.
Yeah. I like how Gray backs up and is like, go on Marcus, you take this. And LSD moves in. Mine.
Mr. Steal Your Ace.
Damn.
Coming on through. But no, that is going to be... So Marcus getting a very early charge up on that Empress. As for Yinsu's team, they are going to be able to buy up into these rifles. I mean, it was an outcome we expected, but I don't think they were looking for it to be that dominant. They were obviously trying to take away one of these guns, so it wasn't a full bonus for So Marcus's team. As now it is going to be that push over from A main.
Just a few trails. I'll move in. Undeterred. Get 1 kill already, Flares, with the opening pick. And Marcus, his team backs up a little bit and just waits for them. But Yinsu's team are waiting in turn. That dark cover has completely deterred them from pushing in all the way. They're just biding their time. Maybe they want one more pick before they head in. Maybe they just want to make a different decision. So slowly clearing angles. They do put the wall down. They will get in on there. Little do they know, the team has already converged on this location. Ooh, that paint grenade isn't going to quite make it over the wall, so they do get the spike down and back up all the way. It may just be the flank of So Marcus that does all the work for the team. Managing to get 1, backs all the way up, around that corner. Looking for a few more. They do have to clear a little more space before they get the spike defused, but so far it is working in spades. They're getting another kill. Nobody can get around the corner in time to stop the defuse. That's happened twice now. Unfortunately, Team Yinsu backs up a little too far, and Marcus' team just puts on the pressure enough to keep them back in that choke point.
Yeah, it can be really hard to hold on to the A site when you don't have things like that Sage Wall, or the slow orbs, or even the paint shells too. And just lacking that little bit of utility. Not really able to stand up to So Marcus' team, who were just playing for retake. Second, unfortunately for Yinsu, that they weren't able to get momentum for that A main push that they were looking for, that they were slowed down. That was when it was going to become a lot harder, as it is going to be a little bit of a light bite, mediocre. Going for the budget bin, rather, operator, Marshall play. But once more, not wanting to push out of Plaza too aggressively, going to use Prowler, try and check Art, and make sure that, unlike the previous round, they don't get pincered in from those 2 separate sides.
You're going to have to really think critically about what they want to get out of this round as they push forward. LSD will find the opening pick. Not quite landing a sheriff shot. It's already all the way up here. Manages to find one through the Prowler. Has to back around the corner, no ammo, but mediocre is quicker with the Marshall.
Oh, but Noodle with the Sage Wall is just gonna have a little bit of a higher angle, and Yinsu does not check that deep. Wants to wall and get that spike planted. Noodle is gonna punish. Hasn't been able to find the second, but great now swapping into the Sage's absence. It's gonna be able to find that pick, and it is just Honak with a frenzy. Paint shells gonna make sure that you can't
30
really
seconds
push
left.
further out from main. 27 seconds left. It's gonna try and use a dark cover, but you're gonna be walking right into Nami, who's gonna be able to pick you out. And this is when it gets a dangerous spot for that attacking side, because it's not quite that 5-round differential that we see, but you are going to have your backs against the wall when it comes to that economy, and this is the gamble. Flair's going to be buying up into that operator. If this does not pay out, you are going to be bankrupt for the next round. And so Marcus's team, even if they lose a full rifles, they're going to be able to just buy into that operator. Something that we haven't actually seen So Marcus use. In fact, I feel like this round is sort of a testing ground to see whether or not you can go that aggressively forward. He is back in hook this time around to see whether or not Yinsu's team wants to try and take advantage of that angle from Ram's onto me.
Well, comes the Prowler. Will latch onto that trail. Flares does manage to find one with the operator so far.
Oh,
the
no.
Hawk around the corner from LSD. Actually, that wasn't the Hawk. They all
C's
look the
bounced.
same before they throw them. Yeah, C's does go out, but it did not catch anybody critically.
It hit the door
Means-
frame. It would have grabbed the chamber, but it hit the door frame, unfortunately.
Well, it means Team Somarcus are left a player less, and with nothing to show for it just yet. Make that 2. LSD can't quite find the kill. Does a lot of damage, but not enough. Team Somarcus. I've been calling it Team Somarcus so much I've forgotten there is somebody called Somarcus on the team.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Flares is ready.
Oh, that
Flares
could have
is
been
ready
dangerous.
for that one.
That is an
Yeah.
angle that Somarcus has used in the past. Nami is able to
Last
pick
player
out that haunt,
standing.
but it does unfortunately mean that you're not able to TP out of the Nightfall.
Spike
And Jin
planted.
System will be able to get that spike planted in the ground. Noodle will be able to grab 1, but it's not the operator player, it's not Flares. And that's the main weapon that you're trying to remove from this offensive side right now, is Noodle. Gonna wrap around that duck. Cover falling means that Flares gets the elevation onto Noodle's head. And it will be the operator carried through from the attacking side. They were hoping to put that weapon into Flares' hands. And it is absolutely the same win condition as we saw in the previous series.
Maybe this is where that research comes into play for Team Intu. Maybe their preparation will come into its own. I mean, hey, Team Somarcus, they were 4-0 down in their first game, and they won 13-5. So, stranger things have happened. They will not want to let it though. An immediate seize. It's a nice lineup. Nobody is there though. You could see they were going for that combo. Paint grenade going straight out behind that seize. If anybody was there, would have done a bit of damage. Would have been a bit painful.
Oh.
Speaking of painful, Mediocre manages to kill Somarcus, who was on a bit of an adventure.
And now Flares sitting with this operator, trying to let Yun's team find that momentum to look for, but you have to watch out for LSD as well. It's going to be wrapping all the way out the back from mid-top into restaurant onto A main. You are going to be contested by Honak. But at the same time, that distraction is going to be enough to let the rest of Zomarcus' team try and move through.
Ray manages to spray down 2 through the dark cover.
Standing.
Mediocre and Honak getting on the board, so Ray needs to do even more. It's not going to materialize for him. Team Somarcus drop their 2nd round in a row. Team Yinsu starting to build things back up.
Yeah, Yosefka able to use that showstopper the second that Somarcus' team want to commit, so you have that little mistiming with Grey moving forward and then LSD trying to make the move for that backstab, so Grey gets stuck on the site and LSD gets taken out by Honak, so suddenly Grey is just alone in a sea of attackers who turn and dispatch the Rays, with Flares still holding on to the operator. It's now going to be going toe-to-toe with Somarcus, who has picked it up too. Still not holding in Hook, by the way, being very cautious of using that site. It's going to be all the way in the back. Not gonna get baited into using that shot.
Oh, hits one. It's through the wall.
Healing.
It's not going to do critical damage. Very close. But, no cigar. Oh, from the shadows used. Straight into elbow. Where nobody is. That could be a bit of misinformation, honestly, because there were players just round the corner either side. They may head into this a little too overzealously. So Marcus capitalizes. Finds his first pick with the operator.
Gorgeous dismiss out of the paint shells and out of the slow up too. Yinso still got the wall though, which is why they do want to continue applying pressure onto this B site, but so Marcus now has been able to keep an eye. It's a stalemate. Flares has got an eye on the entrance where Somarcus is going to be potentially popping out. Somarcus is holding the angle, but Yinsu needs to be able to set that wall up.
30 seconds left.
Tentatively edges closer to the corner. Nami is waiting here. Sights set. Just around the edge. Out comes the dark cover. Give him a little space to get that wall down. Lovely tiny little... No!
Oh no!
Too tiny little. It was too small. They couldn't get the spike down, and now it's not a nice position. There's no cover to use. The spike goes down on the ground. It's not getting planted today. Nami makes matters worse. They can't get anything done here. If you want to get that couple last kills, you're going to have to go a long way. No time. A little bit of money. Lovely.
These guns we use are okay.
Did they
but
pick
I
up the
will
op-
also bring my own. No offense.
Don't know if the defensive team managed to grab the operator. No, they did not.
No. I was going to say all's well that ends well, but it did not end well. Ended
Yeah.
badly.
They get the rounds, but they're not running a chamber. And Flares is going to be able to buy into that tour de force. And this is when that attacking team gets a little bit of momentum that they're looking for. If you try and aggressively push out from mid, something that we saw in that last series, Flares is going to be able to instantly
want
shut
to
you
play?
down.
Let's play.
Bring them down.
I'll take some space once again from Mediocre. Gonna send it out another one. Get all the way in. Oh, Marcus is completely blinded. Not by the Prowler, but by the
Face your fear!
Paranoia. Same letter. A bit of alliteration. Not alliterance. Sibilance is the other one. It's the same. Gray finds his probably 60th kill through the dark cover at this point. I'll keep him well back.
Yinz's team as well used that Nightfall so that they could try and push onto this A site through that Sage Wall and get the time to clear that right deep corner. But once again, just not able to. So Marcus's team, a gauntlet of utility to keep them at arm's length, and 45 seconds left. One's going to be able to come through, pick out a couple of locations, but still, even with that tour de force, Noodle just getting to sit behind Cafe, keeping them at arm's length for long enough that they just do not have the movement to be able to push W.
Yeah, with 25 seconds left on the clock, they do need to make a lot of space happen. Mediocre gets taken down. That's what they were hoping was going to get them into sight. Flares opens up a sliver of space, but immediately gets domed in return by LSD.
10 seconds left.
Oh
9
no.
seconds. Yeah,
Haunt
not happening.
into Paranoia, and that's gonna
Oh
be
dear.
Honak taken down. So Marcus's team looking extremely comfortable on this defense, using different strategies too. So for Yinsu's team, it's not what they were expecting. And all of their plays, you can really tell they wanted to use that B-side push. They really do love just booking it down main and getting that Sage Wall set up. A little bit harder with that A-site when you have to worry about pushing Noodle out of the way, either with that Sage Wall to counteract you getting to move forward, or those slow ups to buy the defensive team the time to set a crossfire through.
LSD. Just back all the way up from that corner. Gray's ready for the Boombot to come through, and Noodle ready gets to find a kill. Putting Yinsu's team at another little disadvantage. Luckily, back to a 4v4.
They've lost Yinsu though, which means they've lost the safety of that wall. And with all of these wall bangable boxes, that Sage Wall really does become important. And getting the luxury of a safe spike plant. As well, at the moment, Yinsu's team is just being enroached upon. They will be decimated down to 2 members. We're going to be seeing a Haunt coming through, but I think actually it got blocked by the Sage Wall. So even if there were people on the A site, it wouldn't have picked them up. And now, thinking that the A site is a little bit clearer than it is, because there's a Arena coming through from Secret! With an operator, and now going to be going into that dismissal. Mediocre's still able to take
man.
out Noodle. It is just the Fade versus 2, able to separate them into
Oh.
1 versus 1s though. Now Nami's gone, and Marcus as well! Mediocre clutches things out!
A ring around the rosy to the maximum. Gets the operator. Oh my god. Oh my Mediocre. These people have families. How could he do that? That was some acrobatics. My lord. Okay. I'm still having trouble. Somebody get this man on Cirque du Soleil. What an amazing feat of running. Hey, sometimes there you go. So, some people say you should hide instead of run. Nah. Keep running. Oh.
A little bit short. A little bit short on the Haunt.
Mediocre did Sylve's job for him. Beautiful. Amazing. Onak manages to find Marcus, but they do have one kill on the board, which is good for them in this eco round. Or, well, half buy. I'll be quite happy with how they performed already so far this round. And being 3 rounds up on Team Yinsu, every bit of economical damage they can do helps their case so much in getting further rounds in this game. They can just back up, bide their time. Oof. Fingernail's gonna land right on their heads. There comes Nami from behind. That's so much
Spike
damage.
down A.
Team Yinsu is back down to their final player. Headhunter in hand, operator available, but ouch. At this point, you just want to save it, and having to save against a half-buy team is embarrassing.
Thrifty.
Oh, no!
No, not through the smoke.
Can we just take a moment as well to appreciate how LSD survived
Yes.
for
can.
so long? Because it was a full team effort. Takes a little bit of chip damage, gets the terror trail attached to them, so everyone on Yinsu's team is getting to see where that Phage location is. Noodle has to pop by with a drive-by heal. Nami has to drop a dark cover so that LSD can move. And because everyone on Yinsu's team is so focused on that one fade, they get wrapped around.
No. Noodle, please. Oh, luckily the Prowler gets in the way. Best bodyguard in the world. Oh no, a bit more utility from Mediocre. Just to seal the deal. They get it on site. I'll get that spike down. Make a little more space. Lovely. They have a lot to work with already. They just got the spike down. Mediocre manages to find Grey as well. And a res onto Flares just makes things a lot worse for Team So Marcus. Nami can't quite find the amount of bullets that they need to get that kill. So at this point, Team So Marcus's chances not looking as amazing as they should. Empress is used, but Nami gets wrapped around there. And it's all up to this 1v5. It's not happening. Flares makes it 7-4.
See, the best kept secret of secrets is that there's a raise behind you who's wrapped out of window.
Otherwise, we're going to look very.
That's why they have that color, you know? You always have to watch your back. And So Marcus, last round in the half, they know, despite losing that round, if they buy an operator, even if it pushes Grey into using a judge, they don't have to worry about that economy going into the side swap. And it's definitely one of the weapons that we saw So Marcus using to their absolute advantage in the first series that they start in. As it does look like Yinsu's team is going to be walking right into the crosshair, sees the shoulder of the chamber. The layer is going to be coming out. Nami trying to make sure that So Marcus gets even more set up despite the Renner's location being read out. It does manage to pick out the raise. As So Marcus has just been able to sidestep the seeds.
Oh, one scopes at just the wrong time, misses the shot and gets punished for it. Unfortunately, which gets Yinsu's team straight in on site. Can get that spike down quite easily now. Wall will go up. They'll be able to plant it right in the corner. Once again, they do need to be careful. They don't back up too far. Mediocre is the best bodyguard in the world and can just, well, I mean, apart from a Prowler, as I said earlier.
Remaining.
Were you listening?
Find you.
We'll get a few more kills. Noodle there with the trade, but monumentous task ahead. 1v3 in what are pretty favourable post-plant positions here for Team Yinsu. Wall is already up. A lot of work to do.
You've got a wall of your own though!
Ah, that's beautiful. It's going to be broken immediately, but he's just round the corner. Can he get it off? Oh my god! Oh my god! No way! No way! I can't believe the firepower of 3 people wasn't enough to get those 2 blocks down.
Double Sage Wall, Twiggy, it's too strong!
That is amazing.
Oh no, it was just ever so slightly too deep onto that site. There was just enough room.
I mean, that's the thing, right? That edge is perfectly around that, like just perfectly on the wall, so you have to plant it around that corner.
Yeah.
And the thing is, even if you planted it on the side where you can see it, you can still diffuse it from around the corner, so...
Yeah. Who knew that the best counter to Sage Wall Spike Plant is a Sage Wall Diffuse?
Perfect.
As the side swap has come on through, both of these teams now are able to reset their economy, and that works out for both of these teams, honestly, because... oh, hello! One of those
Oh,
ones was a little bit more successful than
Yeah.
the other, but both were immediately destroyed.
Yeah. I'll set up my haunt on the tallest object on the map. That way it can see everything. It didn't. It didn't see anything. Unfortunately. Well, Marcus has got a nice position, but the rest of the team is joining him, so they are going to try and make this one happen. Towards A, it looks like. Little A split going on. One lurk. But everybody playing slowly. They need to like to hold back a much more passive defensive position than Team So Marcus, which gives Grey a lot of space to just double satchel in. Get a couple right clicks onto the head of Mediocre. Now they have a lot more space because they got that spike down. Yitsu can't get through that window because Grey is watching it. Oh no. Oh, he's playing with a spoon. Oh, there's one. Oh no. Players can't turn around in time. He's oh yeah. Oh.
I tell you, it's that secret! It really is that secret. It's the worst kept secret in all of Valorant, and yet you still manage to find kills with it. You have to be so careful about players just flanking around either side fountain or that window hop. I mean, honestly, I would be very unsurprised if we see Cypher mains just perma-tripwire a window to make sure that no one's wrapping around, because that one has been absolutely brutal.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those maps where flanks are really useful, and we haven't seen Cypher in meta for a while. Cypher was always the one that could always stop a flanker, no matter what. Maybe a re-entry.
That
Or
or
like
Chamber
kills
just
going
uses
both
their
ways.
one trademark to
Yeah,
trap the ledge.
they're 1 centimeter. Flares. Can't quite get the kill onto Nami. They'll be able to get all the way in, get that spike down. Different spike position.
One enemy
Team
remaining.
Yinsu's preferred. Speaking of Team Yinsu. Great, we'll get one more pick, and now it's just Mediocre. Has a Spectre. Can win it. Technically. You never know.
Is apparently looking.
He likes that Spectre.
Yeah. Does like the Spectre. I think it's just looking for exit frags at this point. Spike's been down for so long. You are about to run into Nami. Yep, there it is.
Hey!
Gets one.
Where are you?
Let's see. Haunt lineup's gonna be coming on through, potentially taking out anyone left on site. 22 HP. Gonna swap into the Sheriff for that one shot. Potential with the head. Connects, but Noodle gonna be able to pick up the kill of the Spectre. And it is going to be So Marcus's team taking themselves into double digits first. Yinsu's team can at least buy into the rifles after coming off that economy.
Right. It's not a convincing buy. It is a buy. Can do work with it. But we've seen how effective So Marcus's team have been with Spectres so far. And we do have a Vandal in the hands of Marcus himself. I wouldn't put it past him to take the bonus hit. We'll see. Seas goes straight out and that'll catch one. Luckily, no follow-up. Flares does get the opening pick onto LSD though. Oh, and Marcus is turning 180 all the way around the place. Does get the kill eventually. 7 bullets left in the chamber. Mediocre just round the corner. But biding his time now.
I'm gonna try and push out from Art. So he's not able to grab the Reyna. That's dangerous. Because now the Fade has moved away into Side Fountain to wrap around into Secret. And no one's expecting So Marcus to be that deep.
Moodle gets one more. Oh, and Flares will just walk around slowly. Marcus cannot fend him off that side. Nami breaks the horn. But time is ticking down here. We need to make a push happen. Mediocre picks up the first kill. Trade looking for Nami. Manages to get Flares instead. Now it's just Grey versus Yinsu here. Yinsu starting that defuse. But look at that. Oh, perfectly placed paint grenade. Wow, 20 HP left on Yinsu. Time ticking down. No time left to get the defuse. I don't think. No. Oh no, got the half.
half was already stuck.
I'm an idiot. I am an idiot. I don't have eyes. Well done, Yinsu.
Yeah, Yinsu, 20 HP. Thankfully, half had already been stuck before those paint shells forced her away.
Sorry for diluting the importance of your moment by assuming you hadn't got the half there. My bad.
And Yinsu, like their team especially, like one criticism I would have in their earlier round of their defense is that they seem very passive. Hello, Yinsu. That's all that we haven't seen.
I like this. I like this.
That could potentially be
Okay.
a very brutal
Good angle. Thank you.
angle.
Oh. I love it. I love it.
She's on the roof.
Come on, Marcus. Walk right into it. I just want to see it in action.
Oh,
Walk right
he's
into
going
it.
to. Nope.
No, you need to go a lot further down, up towards the stairs area.
Oh, they're trying to bait it too. The chamber's now crossed in. Bless. Trying to
Yeah.
look as tasty as possible, but is able to find the pick before
I
Yinsu.
feel like, oh man, that in the middle of a round would be intense.
Noodle
you know?
is so close to walking into that F, but they don't want to walk past the dark cover.
You can see the lane. You can see that.
Yinsu's
that
just
doesn't
playing
manage to
Assassin's
make a
Creed
kill.
at the moment. On that roof.
It's her, yeah. Well, the wall does go down eventually. Maybe more of a mid-round strat, but I love the creativity there. In the meantime, Grey is clearing middle areas. Mediocre will get rid of that. And it is A that the action is going to happen on. It seems like Lear on through. Marcus making space for the team. Nightfall as well. Oh, Mediocre finds ahead of Marcus before he can do any damage with the charge.
30
Oh,
seconds
what a wall bang!
Last
Onto
player
Grey.
standing.
Suppose he gets one with the paint grenade too. Team Yinsu are absolutely smacking about Team Marcus right now, but they don't know that Nami is coming around from behind. The defuse starts. There's a lot of work to do, and can't quite find the shots that she needs to finish off the round. So 6 in the way of Team Yinsu now. Now they still have a bit of a mountain to climb to catch up with Team Marcus.
Yeah, bunker is such a cruel space to try and keep yourself safe in. Double wall bangable from both sides.
Yeah.
Twiggy. You can clear it from deep corner or you can clear it from bunker itself. Jet actually can use updraft to get a little look-see in through the window as well. So lots of really nice, unique little plays that all of these agents can find, including this lovely lineup. It is my absolute favorite. The best thing about this map, in my opinion, as the horn
Oops.
entirely fails.
Oops. My favorite lineup. The wall horn.
It's filling in the gaps, okay? As Yinsu is, she really wants to make this work. You know, I take it back. That is my favorite interaction for all of the agents. Just being able to get on top of that roof, because it is absolutely deadly, as Grey, I'm sure, is about to find out in just a matter of moments. But once again, Yinsu's team might get in the way. Oh, it's Noodle!
Oh no!
Player
It
standing.
does leave you just a little bit open from the other side of B.
Just a little bit. Yinsu really wanting to make that one work, and worse now, Noodle has relayed Yinsu's position, and every single time anyone on Marcus's team is going to be crossing into mid doors, they are now going to be looking above their heads to see if there is a Sage poised and in position.
Alright guys, I've just seen a floating save.
I would apologize to them, but alas,
Execute
they're
caution.
dead.
No, it goes
Oh,
back to that
that's
discussion
sincere.
of the snow leopards. So elegant above the Himalayas, just waiting for their prey.
Yeah.
See, I have since
doubt it.
educated Twiggy on the magnificence of the snow leopard.
Guys, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not really a nature documentary person. I never knew snow leopards were chill like that. You know?
Well, this is not a chill pie coming out, Twiggy. This is double operator. You're gonna walk into one of them, no matter which part of the map.
Tell me she's gonna post up. Oh no, different wall. Wait, what is that wall? Hold on. What is Yinsu doing? There's a wall backside now? What's going on?
will not kill my
If you're not expecting it to be
What
on
is
tower, now you're going to
that?
be expecting it from Hall.
That's an odd one.
And
I
once
like it.
again, its impact is limited because unfortunately no one from Marcus is actually going to be walking into
I
it.
can't understand that one, but I like it. Oh no, Marcus. Oh my god, Flash finds one with the up. Oh, I thought that was a no-scope. I thought that was a no-scope, it wasn't. I was gonna lose my mind.
Oh no!
Oh no, great! Luckily, the rest of the team can keep flares away. There's Yinsu with the operator.
Gun here.
Hey, I don't know what to think about that round. I ain't gonna lie.
Do you think Gray heard me say that the Jet could knife through window?
I don't believe that. He wanted that optimal angle, and he got the angle that landed directly on his face. Oh, Yensu's going for this one again.
She really
This is an
is
odd one.
just wanting to make these sage walls
See,
work.
that's an odd one, because that's literally just, unexpected height.
Yeah.
Unexpected height, Sage.
You're not expecting the sage to be there.
Yeah.
This is the strat, and this time I think So Marcus are actually going to be walking into it. But
Maybe.
so are they going to be walking into flares? Noodle
Spike
tries to
down.
get the shot off first, but flares a little bit faster. Doesn't even need to worry about.
Oh no,
that
he's
counter
trapped! He's
off.
trapped because of Winkinsy's wall. Oh,
Last player
Gray gets
standing.
in. Oh man, thank God for Josie there, because I don't think that could have gone well if that showstopper didn't get to. He got trapped in elbow.
Oh man. What are these walls?
This is a silly game. It's a silly game. It's
I love it. I love it. This is experimenting and seeing what works. This is literally getting to see all of these players trying to figure out what's gonna work and where is gonna work. In fact, do you know what would work out really well if you're worried about flankers from window? Just walling it up.
yeah.
Just use that stage wall. Block it off entirely.
Why not? What time the horn works? Oh, Flares is as quick as ever with the operator though. As soon as Team Yinsu got some operators on their hands, they have been making up that deficit rather rapidly. Plaza control does go to Team So Marcus for the moment.
Marked one.
Nice horn.
Bring them down.
But unfortunately, no wall-bangable walls to get the kill through. So backup is imminent and very effective. But they do see that trail. They do know exactly where he is sitting. Marcus is there with the trade, unfortunately, at the cost of Noodle's life.
LSD is gonna be popping out from side fountain. And Players sees the gun barrel and takes the fade out. Yinsu anchoring B. Gonna make it a little bit harder. Misses the op shot, but Honak still sitting on tower.
One enemy
Gonna make
remaining.
sure that they can't actually
Spike
chase the
down.
sage. Yinsu playing bait, and Marcus walks right into the dark cover, right into the sage in the middle of it.
That's the real BM, is you get the kill and you just stand still and stare at them. It's so much more, like, alpha than, you know, tactical crouching over them. Just stare at them.
Okay, so where are we
Yeah.
going to see the stage wall coming up this
Oh,
time?
it's a new one. What is this? What have you been doing this whole time, Yinsu? The map's been out for a day. What have
No,
you...
this was the one that she was using in the last round.
Ah,
Because
okay.
yeah, it gets you
Yeah,
the elevation,
okay,
and then
okay,
you
yeah,
get
that one's...
the angle as they try and cross that corner into A main,
Okay.
without
Yeah, no,
actually
that's-
giving away the operator's gun barrel.
Marcus, again, falls prey to some paint grenades. Luckily, gets away with his life this time. Oh, Wes gets sprayed through the box. There's a lot of prediction play going on from Team So Marcus, and it's working out so far. Getting a bit of damage down. Gray is holding down that door.
There's an
It's
omen.
Mediocre who's going to hold down. The players pushing in. Oh no, Marcus gets away with the kill. There is a trade. No more than that. Trying to make that position back is very difficult as the spike goes down on A. So Marcus in the best position they've been in for a few rounds now. Gray taken down by Konak. Noodle is there to get a trade and a little more than that as well.
Yeah. So Marcus's team making sure that they have control of Secret and Flowers. This player thinks about going for this shot. Dark cover is gonna run out. If you know where this omen is playing from, you should be able to get them through the wall, but that dark cover making it a little bit harder. Yinsu not gonna be able to get onto that site, and surely you want to just save these two ops that both of these players are carrying.
Ooh.
As yeah, call comes through, they're gonna try and keep themselves safe. Noodle's actually wrapped around to try and
Oh my god.
snatch Yinsu before she's
Oh,
able
no.
to make it past the sluice. But she is safe, and the operators are gonna be saved for the defense.
Noodle didn't want to go in the vent just in case it was in range of the spikes.
It's sus,
Bubble.
you know?
Yeah.
There's something sus about those vents.
No. We can't have Sussy. We already have Sussy. We can't. Sussy is another map's gimmick. Can't do that.
Oh, Yinsu once again.
Here we go. We're back. We're rotating them.
See, I feel like the impact of these Sage Walls is a little bit limited by the fact that they're very early on in the round, which means that by the time Marcus's team actually pushes in,
they're broken already.
They're broken already.
I feel like, look, Yinsu really wants to, show him off, right? Give it a bit. Patience. You know?
The early Sage Wall catches the Reyna's head, I guess.
Well, right now the early Sage Wall catches nobody within a 5-mile radius. That's the problem here. But yeah, Plaza control seems to be Team Somarcus's prerogative at the moment, which is why Yinsu has failed to get a lot of value out of the starter rounds. Has been getting a lot of value late rounds with the operator, but
a little bit of a traffic jam in mid at the moment.
Nothing happening.
Yeah, so Marcus just...
They're going back towards B, but the wall is already down.
The wall's down. So Marcus though, still gonna be making sure that it's not Yinsu's team trying to go for that rotation in time. Dark cover. Gonna be coming forward to Yinsu, but she's still able to connect the shot onto Grey.
30 seconds left.
Who needs a wall? Who needs a wall?
Last
Don't even
player
bother.
standing.
Yinsu, just get on the chamber already. What is going on? Now he does get the spike down, but he's got a pretty big task. Yinsu with a 3k. Damn. Already has a res, doesn't need to get the spike. Who cares? 3k.
Gives the gets the Zil seal of approval on that second up shot too.
Yep. Lovely. A flawless round. All thanks to wall-less Yinsu.
See, that's why the walls are so early, She has to nerf herself.
It gives her superpowers. Yeah. She has to waste her wall specifically to bring herself back down to, the regular player level.
Oh, look, we're going to have the sniper off. So Marcus is going to go for the operator versus Yinsu. I feel like it's a little bit unfair that Flex is going to be trying to intrude and interrupt with an operator of their own. But So Marcus's team apparently sacrificing 2 rifle buys so that So Marcus can go toe-to-toe with Yinsu. And that's what this is about, Twiggy. Clout.
Yeah, and once again, they've gone the opposite side to Yinsu's wall. I don't know how it's possible. They have avoided it every single round. Honak is the one holding down B, along with Mediocre, waiting to throw that Haunt out. It is Flares, the operator, posted up here. Had to couple with the Haunt, just a couple. Grey is going to be taken down immediately. The wall goes down. Mediocre capitalizes off of that. Oh, there's somebody right around that corner. LSD could do a lot of damage right now if nobody checks it. Nobody's checking it. He gets 1. He gets 2. He's looking for a couple more, but he's already stunned up now.
Oh.
Wow, that's a lot of damage.
Yeah, season comes through.
No! Oh, it's another. I don't know what's going on. How are you doing this?
LSD, not caught out by the showstopper. It's just Yinsu. She's got the res, but you don't have the space to be able to use it. And LSD is able to survive and gets another.
My man went, that corner looks comfy. I haven't got 3 kills because of it.
Yeah.
That works.
That wall,
works.
that little corner, that little cranny over in B side, really the undoing of a lot of these teams. As Flares this time is going to have the operator. It's not going to be Yinsu. We're not going to get to the Yinsu versus So Marcus, and I feel very sad because we didn't actually get to see that one properly.
We didn't get to see any of those walls in action, and that does sadden me quite a bit, honestly. And in fact, they've avoided her again, even though she's not got a wall or an operator this time.
Yeah.
At the start of her round.
I was just pushing up with that slow.
She's setting up for the mid wall. Hey, wait, she's waited a bit, and she's. Is she going to go for one? No.
Nah. I was just trying to see if there was a little bit of pressure coming out from Club to drop that slow and then push them towards Flares' location with that operator, and So Marcus has now dropped the up. So Marcus' team going to be lacking both their leader and their duelist as Yinsu now gets into position so that if it is a little bit of a rush through mid doors, you've got your Paranoia and Dark Covers that can be set up by your friendly neighborhood Omen. And then you yourself can sit all the way on site playing Anchor and catching them as they come out without that cover.
Here comes a showstopper from Grey, but heated by his own This actual's not going to go anywhere. Oh, that wall isn't quite perfect. But somehow they get away with it. The res goes off completely. They get a kill as well. And that's turned the tides a little bit. 3 players left on Team Yinsu's side, and on match point for Team Soma, because that could be a death toll. As they actually head towards the site that Team Yinsu has decided.
Oh, Yinsu's going for the res.
Right now.
There it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Giving up the site so that they can get the res onto Mediocre. So Marcus's team, with 13 seconds left, they have to just commit so much utility and try and grab up this space as fast as possible. They don't actually know that Yinsu's team was so far back. Flares has the tour de force. It's not really going to be in a position to use it as they want to try and take towers control. Mediocre is going to be coming from below, right into the Nightfall.
Ooh. Oh, the Prowler does quite a bit as well, but it's away with the kill.
No one's cleared Noodle.
Player just waiting it. Here comes Grey with the Phantom in hand, doing a lot of damage. Only 1 player left. Honak cannot get enough work done. So Marcus will end it out 13-11, and they do manage to win out the whole tournament. What a performance.
What a game! We're good to see some really fun interactions and some really nice set players as well that I think going on forward, Pearl is definitely going to become one of those maps where Sage is definitely gonna be in that composition. We thought, okay, well, Split has gone. Are we going to see Sage anywhere else that isn't Icebox? We got our answer very, very quickly. Sage is absolutely meta. And I absolutely dread to think what some of those walls that Yinsu was pulling off could mean in pro play.
Yeah, I mean, there was some impressive stuff going on. Those walls, I think if utilized properly, could definitely... I mean, the ability just to be able to peek yourself over an integral wall to the game, which is not really a feature that you have on many other maps. I remember it being in Split quite a lot to begin with, is where you could like wall yourself over right up your attacker's spawn and kind of look up into heaven, if you remember that on A site. But apart from that, you know, not many maps have that mechanic where you can kind of just boost yourself up into the skybox and purposefully get that kind of stuff done. But it seems like this map is almost created for that idea, having very low walls, having the ability to just see into other lanes because they're all very tightly packed together. So I'm excited to see how that kind of thing develops, obviously with Flight's boost onto the little ledge as well, and Jet being able to get up on so many positions. I can't wait to see how people can bring out that kind of verticality, that kind of interesting playstyle to the rest of pro play. I'm really interested to see this one come through. I am sad to see Split go personally, but Pearl should be a really interesting change.
Yeah, and I think we might see the same sort of compositions that teams had on Split, where they were running, you know, pseudo triple duelist or double initiator, sometimes transfer over to Pearl, because a lot of the base ideas, the foundations of the map, are very similar to Split when it comes to mid control, being able to control those rotations. We saw some really punishing angles as well, deep on those sites. That A site corner on the right as you approach from main is very reminiscent of that same A right side corner as you come through onto Split A from main. Even with the fact that ramps and flowers are kind of the same sort of crossfire that you can set up too. Like, there's a lot that the defenders can do if they want to go aggressively early, and there's a lot that the attackers can do if they just want to hit one of those sites and give up a lot of map control to make sure that all 5 of their players survive when the spike goes through.
Alright, well, that'll be it for all of us today. I mean, congratulations to Team So Marcus, but obviously congratulations to all teams. Everybody put in a shift today and really worked hard for a good cause. Obviously, all this for global giving. Obviously, you can check them out. Very good cause. Donate to charity. Come on, like £2,000. Sorry, not $2,000. I've been doing too many American events. Given away today to the teams for their charity of their choice through global giving. It's a great cause. You can go check out the website as well. But apart from that, that'll be pretty much it from us today. And, I mean, we'll see you for the next Influencer event. Exciting things happening, and obviously Valorant is always changing. With the new kind of map pool coming in, we may see some rotations of stuff, some new maps coming in soon as well. So I can't wait to see you next time. Have a good night. Bye, everyone.
My name is Tina, and I'm a part of the Goose House community.
My name's Ross. I am a junior events manager for the Goose House.
Being a part of the Goose House community has actually helped me to improve my language skills because I'm surrounded by people who are English speakers only.
Since joining the Goose House, I became a lot more social. I became more open with how I am as a person. Before, when I joined, I was like really down, obviously with COVID and stuff like that. And then I joined, and everyone asked me how I was every day. They'd speak to me, and my worst points, I'd always had someone there to back me and speak to me. I'd never attended a LAN event, and the most recent LAN event was in October, November for Epic LAN. And